Warning. Warning. This is not a test. This is not a test.
Welcome to tonight's coverage of the full-length Cup Challenge. Tonight, we start off our countdown to green from wine country. It's Sonoma, where we have a theme race on the docket tonight. These drivers will be celebrating their favorite drinks as we make our way around Sonoma Raceway here on Maconi Entertainment. Maconi Entertainment is here bringing action from all types of racing, with the Go Long Racing Series, the full-length Cup Challenge, and Fast Fridays. No matter what you are racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Justin Prince. Alongside me in the booth once again for tonight is Kirk Mills. Our producer this evening is DJ Lyon, using cameras provided by Whiplash SimCams. Tonight we go all sorts of road course racing. Sonoma Raceway is the host of tonight's action. It's the middle portion of the in-season tournament. And once again, one of the many road courses over the course of the summer stretch. As a matter of fact, it's back-to-back road courses, including Chicago from last week, Kirk.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. These drivers out here have been really practicing a whole lot to be able to make this track fast. One of the few benefits of racing here in Sonoma is that we've been doing it forever, it seems like. NASCAR's been coming to Sonoma for many, many years, and they have a lot of practice here on many different types of simulators, especially on iRacing this week. High competitiveness up towards the front, but a huge gap between first and 30th, which has a lot of different drivers that are here on this screen. You see, this is our current point standings. A lot of gap between Bobby Anderson and Ralph Hutchinson at the cut line. Ralph's just got to have a clean day this week to be able to, have a good chance at making the playoffs. He just got to stay where he is and hope for no new winners whatsoever.
Meanwhile, the team standings, 4 teams are essentially the main front runners in that. RH Motorsports has consistently been up towards the front of that as of, the past while. Fortis Motorsports, more than 200 points back. Dirty South, more than 500. Team Conti, more than 900 points back of RH Motorsports in the point standings. Then you have the in-season tournament. As mentioned, it's the middle portions of that tournament. Leaves Derek Heitman, Alex Princeton, along with Dyson, DeCiani, Hoffman, Murray, Lawn, and Hill. In terms of the drivers, as we look to whittle that group down to just 4 remaining after this week. Meanwhile, you worked on something a little bit with the help of GPT Power. Gronkan, in fact, believe it was, Kirk, Talk us through this.
Yeah, Grok actually, I gave the AI bot I guess the results from Circuit of the Americas earlier this year and the results from the Chicago street race last week. And I had it look at our point standings and also the qualifying order for this race. And based off of those criteria, we have betting odds for the entirety of the top 15 in terms of betting odds. Andrew Dyson, he's going to be the car to beat. He won both Chicago and Circuit of the Americas. All the drivers, including even our second one here in the ranking list, Jonathan Delaney, was saying that Andrew Dyson's in a league of his own. It's going to be so hard to try and catch him and pass him down. However, in qualifying, he's on the second row. He's got two guys to beat him. That's Tommy Gossett and Paul Hill. Paul Hill's all the way down in sixth on this betting odds sheet, and it's going to be exciting to see how it goes.
He starts on the pole here tonight. Tommy Gossett in qualifying set the time in second. Andrew Dyson starts in third tonight. Robert Miller will start in the fourth position for Altus. Jonathan Delaney starts fifth. Patrick Gitter alongside him in row number 3. Row 4, Alex Murray and Neil Pearson will start in eighth. Rounding up the top 10, Derek Heitman and Matt DiCiani.
Starting in 11th tonight, Nicholas Vroman. To his outside will be Adam Benefield. Starting in 13th will be Joey Preeb. Followed to his outside, Matthew Long. Starting in 15th tonight will be Clayton Hoffman, and to his outside, Hunter Truel. Starting in the 17th spot, Cameron Stone, and to his outside, Sean O'Brien Jr. And then starting 19th will be Bobby Anderson, and to his outside will be Ralph Hutchinson.
21st goes to Chad Center. Stephen Williams in 22nd spot. 23rd goes to Devin Medeiros, with Corey Cook make an appearance for the first time in a little while. He'll start 24th. Jacob Simpson makes an appearance as well tonight. He'll start alongside Tanner Marty, who's in 26. Jason S. Taylor towards the back with William Owens in the 28th spot. And rounding out the field, Dustin Hall and Alex Princeton will start at the back. We'll find out how things fare out here tonight as we get ready for 110 lapper here at Sonoma. The stages this evening, 25 and 55. Remember, there is a 21 incident point limit here tonight for the road course. 6 tire sets available in terms of the race. Open setups as per the usual for these competitors. 5 of those sets that we just mentioned are in pit road. Track temperature pretty hot as per usual when it comes to Sonoma at this time of the year. It is, for these drivers, 112 degrees Fahrenheit. 72 is the air temperature in terms of those temps. It should be a fun night. Just about ready to go racing from Wine Country, Kirk.
Oh, I'm excited. You're excited. They're going to come through turn 11 right here, and they're going to head on to this little straightaway. And once they see the opening in the wall on the inside, that is when they're going to get the jump. So here they come. They're going through that restart zone now, and the leader hits the gas, and we are under the way. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys, from Sonoma. Let's see it. Turn 1's a big deal. Gossett's on the outside, 26 on the inside. But for the corner, Gossett's going to have the bottom. He's got to fight hard to be able to hang on to this lead. Track position's everything as Hill goes off track. That puts Gossett to the lead as they are nearly 3 wide heading into turn number 3.
Dyson gets shuffled back all the way to 5th position off the initial start. A little bit of chaos for some of these drivers already. They try and get themselves quickly into rhythm here. Already some side-by-side building up for the short shoot. Looks like Murray leapfrogging 2 different cars up front, others in the mid-pack, trying to leapfrog hard to the inside. That includes Long trying to make up a lot of ground up the inside. Tries to sort himself out. That's currently in the battle with Adam Benefield. There's a look at Murray we just mentioned though on the charge. And the thing about Murray, has experience as a professional go-kart racer. He races in terms of the various different series at the national level. And so far, he's trying to make some inroads to the inside of these corners.
They're all single file throughout the whole field, but that 7 car, yeah, he's definitely going to be someone to watch to see if he can maintain his speed and stay in the top group. It's all about track position right now. Right, that was why it's so important right at the restart to get the lead, and exactly what Gossett did was what he needed to do to take this lead away. He is showing that he has the speed. We hadn't seen him do any races prior to this, so this is just great to have him up here doing well. He's got a guy right on his tail, Robert Miller. He's sitting in second. He's all over the back bumper of him, trying to decide if he's going to try and get on by. It is early in this race, but you know that 15 car wants to be able to try and take the lead away. As Paul Hill, who had the fastest lap in qualifying, he lost 2 spots on the opening lap. And even further back, we take a look at Dyson. He's dropped back quite a bit as well. He's the real favorite to win this race. He's already back to 5th. He's got a little ways to go to be able to catch back up to these top 4 spots.
Give him track position, he'll run away. He's been compared to some as the SVG of this series when it comes to attacking Dyson's ability on the road courses. But Robert Miller's good. He's also good at going left and right, Kirk. It's just been a matter of getting luck when it comes to this 15. He's going to the point.
Yeah, he did a dive bomb right there. It worked out for him. They're side by side on the front stretch. Look out for that wall. It's pretty tight. They're going to go side by side into turn 2 up here at the top of the hill. Who's it going to be? Gossett. They're even. Heading into the right-hander. They make contact. Miller gets into the door. Gossett. Here comes Paul Hill trying to make it 3 wide. He spins. Gossett spins the 15 car. 15 into the outside berm. He's going to have no damage, but he's going to get back on track behind Nicholas Vroman, who was sitting in 10th at the time. That moves Miller, Robert Miller, from 1st to 10th in just one move right there. The 07 of Gossett just absolutely made some contact to get him out of shape and spun around.
That's going to be one of our first major incidents. Again, battling for the race lead, trying to clear on by, and right there, just loops him around off the nose. That's a tough one.
I think he might not have known. Gossett must not have known that he was 3 wide. If he would have known that, I don't think he would have moved over that much. But that definitely did not help Gossett. But it did help Paul Hill, who went from 3rd place last time by. Now he has a considerable gap to 2nd place over Gossett. Paul Hill now in the lead. Has more contact in the back of the field. Patrick Gitter gets to the back bumper of Neil Pearson. Oh, he does spin him around. The 62 of Neil Pearson turned the wrong way, trying to get back going. He's sitting stopped in the exit of turn number 12.
Pearson gets back going. Here's a look. 2 hits, 1 there, and then the second right there. 2 dings from the bumper.
That'll get you, that's for sure. And, take a look right here. That 7 car, he's going to try to get back up to the back bumper of Gitter. But Patrick Gitter, he already has a win on the season. He got into the 62, who I'm not sure if there was any contact prior, but, that'd be interesting to take a look at. But definitely he's going to make the 62 jobs harder as that 15 gets more problems. He almost lost it off that corner there. He saves the race car and only loses a little bit of time. DeCiani catches up to the back bumper of the 15 of Robert Miller, still running now in 9th. As we look at the rest of the top of the field, Paul Hill is scooting away from everybody. He has moved out to a 2nd and about 2/10 over 2nd place.
We're talking about, does Hill have a good qualifying set, or is he a good driver at this road course here tonight? So far he's answered he's been a good driver. He's one of the drivers needing a great finish because he is in that tournament we talked about. Trying to keep ahead of Matthew Lawn, and if he's able to keep this up long run, especially since he just set the fastest lap, this could be a virtual lock to take on Murray or Hoffman in the next bracket and when we head off to Dover.
Yeah, but anything can change at a moment's notice. Take a look behind him. That 41 of Dyson, who was sitting 5th just a handful of laps ago, just moved up to 3rd, and he has his sights set on 2nd right on the back bumper of that 07 of Tommy Gossett. He got real close a couple corners ago, had a little bit of a bobble, had to back off a little bit, but that 41 is still pretty dang quick. Hill's really fast as well, but I think the Dyson I think we're going to see a little something like we saw in the Xfinity race today, where we saw Zilich and SVG battle all the way to the end. I think Dyson and Paul Hill might be our 2 of this series that might compete for the win later on in this event. But it just depends. You never know. You can go from leading the thing to dropping back outside of the top 10, and that was Robert Miller we saw earlier, who was leading the lead but made contact and lost all of his ground. Now he's going to have to make up all that ground again as we got a battle here. Take a look at this. The 76 of Heitman moving to the inside of the 7 of Murray, and Vroman's trying to follow him through.
Trying to follow the train tracks from the 76 from Fortis. Looking to make the move from into 1 and 2. As long as he keeps the inside line, we'll have a great shot on it to make the pass. And the answer is, well, or he's able to just keep it equal. Able to keep alongside here, neither side giving in. Where would you primarily say where the best passing chances are today, especially if you get a chance like that from Vroom?
The heavy braking areas right here. You just saw it right there, the 15 of Robert Miller. He just made a move on Vroman just like that, and he's trying to make it work. He's got another braking zone right here where he can complete the pass. That section right there is the best place to make passes because you can dive bomb the first corner and you can just go in a little deeper in the second one to be able to complete the pass. As long as you got a car that can do it. That's the hard part, being able to have a car that can actually do that move reliably without causing issues. That's the plan, and that's the place to do it. But other than that, turn 11, right when you go down this little long straightaway, you're right now heading through the S's. We'll show you whenever they hit turn 11 entry, but it's on the heavy braking areas. That is going to be the best way to be able to pass people, or on the exit of those heavy braking areas. You could sometimes give them a shot in the back bumper, get them a little loose, and that might be able to open up an opportunity for you. But right here, in this section is going to be where you're going to want to make the pass. You got to dive it in way deeper than you think you do to be able to make that happen. But, it looks like that the second and third place cars has been slowly gaining ground on Paul Hill. We saw him with a 2 1/4 lead a couple laps ago, but now that has now diminished to about a 6/10 lead over the second and third place cars, who are gaining ground on our leader here, Paul Hill. And it's only lap 7. We got 110 of these things to watch these guys go at it. And we still not 100% sure who's going to be the one up front at the end, but I'm sure it's going to be an entertaining one, so be sure to stick around and watch as the 07 and the 41 try to move their way to the back bumper of the 26.
They are slowly starting to chip away the gap. Last time by, a 10th or 2 picked up by the two of them. So they are slowly reeling on in Hill. The average is still stronger for Hill compared to everybody else in the entire field, though, by a couple tenths of a second the past 5 laps. Well, it's about patience, you'd have to think, in a race like this long term, though, just to be able to chip away, Kurt. And what's that process like here, knowing we have fast cars closing in here, and they are trying to just patiently gain ground. They have a lot of time in the stage.
They sure do. One thing is you always got a chance of that random debris caution coming out, so that's something you got to remember with the league admins here. There might be a debris somewhere, I'm sure, eventually. As Dyson tries to send it in on the 07 of Gossett, just like that, they make contact. Gossett goes a little wide. The 41 of Dyson, they're side by side through the S's. 41 Dyson thinks better of it, backs off, and lets Gossett go. That actually made that gap go from 6/10 to the leader now up to nearly a second. So they lost a lot of time trying to battle for the second place spot that time.
A little bit of chippiness amongst them now. Now there is one note that was released by Race Control in the announcements for today as we keep up with the battle. Drivers have to remain quick here, Kurt. If the drivers consistently can't run a 119 or better, Race Control will park drivers.
That is absolutely for sure. It's all about speed right now. Practice speed's the slowest time that we saw in practice was a 117, so I don't anticipate that being too big of an issue. That's probably another reason why we only have 30 in this field. Normally we see this series have around 45 cars that choose to come out and try to contend for a win here. However, out of those folks, road courses is not necessarily a NASCAR iRacers, strong suit. So most of them don't like running to the road courses. They'll stick to the ovals. And so that's why we might have a lower attendance. But next week when we get to Dover, expect a full field. That's going to definitely happen. But this week up in this front here, you can see the 29 car. This is actually kind of interesting. He's running a lovely job today. He's gotten a great amount of positions gained in a short period of time. He's moving up through the field, and that's good for him to be able to make that happen in the 29 car. But I will mention, he's only in 21st. He's got a long way to go to be able to actually crack the top 20. But one thing to mention about him is that he has passed the most cars since starting in the back of the field. You're now looking at Cameron Stone in the 57 car. He loves Coors Light. That's the number one thing I think that guy likes. He loves it so dang much. He's a happy guy when he has it. But you can see right here, he's also gained a lot of spots, but his is slightly more impressive when you think about where he started. Cameron Stone started 17th, now he's up to 13th, so that's pretty good for him to be able to crack the top 15 after starting outside of the top 15.
He's one of those running with their favorite paint scheme here tonight in terms of their favorite drink. The nickname for tonight was Beers Point, specifically. And obviously not everybody had to run an alcoholic paint scheme here this evening, but a lot of drivers are, like Good Boy Vodka. Not familiar with that brand, but a lot of these drivers showcasing themselves in terms of what they like to drink, and there's a lot of variety. Not one paint scheme is the same except for two of the Red Bull cars.
You'd expect to see that. These drinks, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't drink any alcoholic beverages at all, but I can tell you right now, the folks here on the racetrack, if I comment on anything that is on their cars, I guarantee you I'll butcher whatever it is. I mean, that looks like Four Roses, not a clue. If I had to guess what that was, it makes me think it's some sort of martini. I have no idea. I don't drink nothing. But I still think DeCiani's got an interesting paint this week. It's not normal to see him outside of the really, really bright reddish silver paint this week. He's now got a little bit of that wooden orange and like a little bit of a black and gold situation going. That's cool. I mean, it's unusual for him, but he's having a good day sitting in 10th.
Not bad for DeCiani, yeah. But take a look at Murray. Still keeping up with this pack right now. These drivers, 114 4s, they are right now not in the same distance markers compared to those up in the top 3 or 5. The top 5 are all running lap times for the most part sub 113. So we have set a personal best to the 113s, Kirk. These drivers haven't even cracked that mark.
For the lead right here, Tommy Gossett all over the back bumper of our leader, Paul Hill, right now. That's something we want to keep an eye on. They have caught back up after that racing. That 26, these guys, they are in a league of their own. That's how it's going to be all night. If you're up front, you're going to be staying up front for as long as you can. We're going to keep an eye on Robert Miller as he tries to work his way back up through the field. But right now, Gossett's all over the back bumper of that 06 car at Hill. He's trying to get on by him so he can have the lead again. But remember, it's all about getting through this stage and, doing it safely. You don't want to have a problem like we just saw there. One car off track. I believe that may have been Williams. We'll have to double check that. But right here, these 3 cars, we're going to keep an eye on this. We'll look at that a little later, maybe even during the stage. But right now, this is what we came in stage for. We got a 3-way battle for the lead, and it's early on, so it's going to be a lot of fun to see who wants it the most.
That was Jedi Taylor, by the way. Can confirm Jason S. Taylor has parked it and has taken a tow. So the 60 machine has had some issues. They were towards the back of the running order at the time of said situation. They were 1 minute 5 seconds back of the leader. Believe had some issues. More sends a bit of contact. Gossett starting to get bump and running. Getting a little bit of feisty with the nose there as Dyson watches in the wings.
Man, they hang on to that race car. I mean, the 07 sent him a message saying, hey, I'm faster than you. I'm going to be making a move on you soon. You better be ready for it, because if you're not, this bumper's going to hit you again, and you might not like what happens. That's what that 07's saying when he got into the back bumper to the 26 like that, giving them a clear message. He's going to have a little bit of a run down here. Remember, this is one of our passing zones. You could really dive it in deep here, and that sets you up for the next corner. However, nobody really dives it in too deep that time. And the defensive line for Gossett, he goes down trying to block the 41 of Dyson.
He doesn't want to lose ground. He wants to pick up ground. Doesn't want to have to deal with, well, losing pace. A little bit loose, though. He's been sliding, clattering these curves pretty aggressively. Dyson, no place to take the run quite yet. All over the rear end. We're about halfway through the stage, by the way. Here comes Dyson on the lunge. Sends it deep. Sends it aggressive. Gossett bounces off of him. And there goes the 41. This battling is allowed Delaney to join back in.
That is absolutely textbook passing in turn 11. He did it exactly right. Dive bomb it in, use your car to knock the car behind you wide, and get on through. That happened to me yesterday in the Xfinity race. It's going to happen to these guys in the Cup race all day long. But Dyson gaining 1 spot closer to the lead. Now Dyson is in a position where I'd be a little concerned. You got the 07, you just kind of used him up in turn 11, and he's on your tail now. He can do whatever he wants to you. He is at your mercy. you're at his mercy whether or not he wants to be able to get into it or not. But if you can get away in time, catch the 26, get on by, you'll be safe. But we'll see how long it takes for that 41 to chase down the 26 car of Hill. And I did want to mention, as earlier we saw that driver going off track, Jedi Taylor. He actually was, in terms of our betting odds, we had him in 30th, 20,000 plus 20,000 to 1. So he didn't do too well at Coda, didn't race at Chicago, and he 33rd in points, qualified 27th, and it looks like he's right now having to come back from a lot. What just happened?
William Owens, my goodness, right in front of the leader, just about parked it through. Dyson gains a lot of ground, and that was sketchy.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
let's
the
take a look
run.
at that.
Yeah, run out of turn 10, the leader got the run, and they just gave him a warning not to run the racing line as Corey Cook crashes.
Yeah, Corey Cook crashed as well, but right there you see it. He did it. He didn't realize. I don't know if he even knew the leaders were on his tail like that. That really changed the perspective of this lead battle here, Paul Hill, and everybody in the top group here, because that actually made, I believe, we're taking a look at it now. Hill is just getting past for the lead. Here comes Dyson to the inside, under overmove, contact with the 26, tries to get him loose, does not get the job done. The 41 of Dyson goes from third to first in just a handful of laps, just like that.
Apologies over the radio for the contact there. Dyson says all good, but a good move for the lead for the short shoot. Up to turn 6. Now Dyson leads. He's coming to 10 laps to go on the stage. We've had a lot of people start to pick up issues. Jacob Simpson just towed as well. Corey Cook blew the motor after a crash in the short shoot. Jacob Simpson just had some issues as well. He was on his own. And how did he get a meatball?
Good luck. Oh no! Oh, golly, front end gone just like that. He's done for the night. No way he can come back from that.
Yeah, it almost looked like it snapped on him.
That's for sure. But take a look at battle for second through fourth right now. These guys have really gotten close together. Gossett on the back bumper of Paul Hill. And then now take a look at that fourth place spot. Delaney showing he's got speed this week as well. These guys are all within the top 10 in terms of the betting odds. These guys are sitting top 4 right now, showing that they belong where they are. But take a look at the lap traffic that the leader Dyson has to manage right there. That's the 19 of Princeton, I believe. We'll have to see when he goes on by. I think that's the 19.
It is.
Now it's going to hold up Paul Hill.
That is a coffee machine. That's now holding things up into the racing line. Gossett sends it right into the bumper of Hill. Gossett is really aggressive on the braking marks, Kirk. He sends it a little bit deeper than everybody else right now. It works. But that's why I think he's making so many little itsy-bitsy contacts. He's just going about a half a foot to a couple feet deeper.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more aggressive drivers in the field. That's something that all the drivers share in terms of thoughts about Gossett. He's probably one of the most aggressive drivers out there. And, sitting in third right there, you think you're faster than Hill. I think he knows he's faster than Hill. He's just got to be able to get by. I think he has better tires. But look at this 15 car, Robert Miller. Remember, he spun out from the lead. We saw Gossett spin him out. He's gotten all the way back to 10th, and he's worked his way back up to 7th. Now on the back bumper, Derek Heitman for 6th.
Can't make the move quite yet. Matthew Long just started sailing down the pylon as well. Reason being, technical issue. So his chances of moving on in the in-season tournament just took a massive swing and a miss as a result of that situation. But still, talking about this battle here, Heitman seems to have a solid car. Don't know how you would classify Heitman into the road course. His IR on the road course is really good. Robert Miller's is in the same stratosphere in the 5,000s. Both of these drivers really good at going left and right.
Miller just got right on by him in turn 11, exactly what he had to do, but that 76 is not done yet. He's all over the back bumper. Let's take a look here, see what happened to Vroman right here. Vroman, what happened here? He's following in behind. And, see, does anything happen here? Little loose, got in the dirt. Looks fine here. You're going to dive bomb a 7 just like that. locks him up completely. He just completely missed the corner. He really wants to get by Alex Murray, but he just can't seem to do it.
Had a lot of confidence in the brakes. The brakes said no thank you. You have to try this again.
Yep. That's a good one. I didn't know that the brakes could talk to you. I like that one.
I mean, when they're squealing, isn't that them talking?
Oh, I think that's them screaming, asking them to stop abusing them. You know, that's the worst thing you can say. But yeah, we got to focus right here. Just take a look. Here comes that 40. That 07 car has been showing his nose every few corners. I think that worked that time. That moved the 26 up out of the line. He used a little bit of an intimidation tactic to screw with him, I guess is the best way to put it. They're side by side across the line. Now Gossett on the outside. We've seen this same thing happen before with the 15 of Robert Miller. Up the hill, the 07 and the 26 are even. Who's going to prevail out of the next corner? Remember what we saw here last time. This time Hill's not with the momentum, but he's going to try to side draft, dive it in deep here to this corner. He's going to make slight contact with the 07 and send the 26 wide as Delaney follows through. Delaney takes up a spot. That moves Gossett to where he was, sitting right there in second. But Delaney moves from fourth to third after that failed attempt to pass by Paul Hill as we have a caution out on the racetrack. It looks like this will be the a debris caution that they were talking about.
Yes. Haven't talked about it yet, but there are two random cautions with the chance of happening. One with between 155, one between 56 and 105. Last race at Chicago, we got the 40%, which was 3 total cautions. We just got one here. And this is going to be one that sparks a late stage restart as a result.
I'm excited to see it. I mean, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these guys, but the first thing they got to do is catch a pace car. That pace car is just fast. Doesn't matter when they throw that yellow. They got, for this first stage, they got to get a lap 25. So with that being a caution right here on lap 20, it's not the stage. They're going to have essentially a green-white checkered for the stage. So don't think that any of these guys are going to be willing to just give up a spot here. I think that in terms of tire wear, we want to make sure to see if it's going to be something that will affect lap time. And based on the current recent lap times, let's take it from Dyson here. Dyson's fastest lap was on lap 7. He ran a 13.4. But as you go down the list, he ran 14.4, 14.5, all the way up until his 14 flats. So he loses maybe about a half a second. Not too much. Some laps are better than others, of course, but based off of that alone, I think that it may be worth it to short pit if you're not worried about stage points or, playoff points. You might want to come on down. Otherwise, it is 100% up to the driver. They could stay out and get a lot of stage points right now if they choose to.
So we'll see what the choices come out to be here as they get ready to jump down pit road soon. Again, the order is Dyson, Gossett, Delaney, Hill, and Gitter before pit road. We've already lost 4 cars due to either tech issues or crashes. No surprise, most of the field is coming down. I believe Gitter may have just juked out to the right and does stay out.
Trying to get that playoff point, that 21 car. Everybody else chooses to come on down with the exception of Derek Heitman. He stays out. You also see Alex Princeton trying to get a lap back. He'll stay out. Matt DiCiani is going to move up to 3rd because of this. You're going to see a couple more cars gain some spots. Clayton Hoffman, Joey Preby. These guys are going to stay out as we have pit stops. Here they go. They're going to want to get 4 tires and enough gas to get you to the next stop, and you're good to go.
I don't know if there's enough people who stayed out there for it to work long run for the race, but we'll see. As everyone has expected, 4 tires and fuel, not likely to take the 2 tires here on the road course. It's going to be Gossett who gets the edge over Dyson out of pit road, though. So Tommy Gossett, the net strategy leader, will start in 8th, still in the stage points.
An interesting choice, I think, here to come down or stay out. Some folks are going to do it because they need the stage points. Again, I think Sean O'Brien Jr. forward were the ones that actually came down. Maybe a couple more, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll have to make sure of that when they come back around. But the folks that stayed out most certainly are just trying to get every point they can get because they understand that they may not have the long run speed to be able to compete with these top guys of Dyson, Gossett, Hill, Delaney. But the people who are going to be able to compete with these guys are going to be the ones that chose to pit. They know they could stay up front, but everybody else has just got to hope and pray that something happens through the chaos of a restart to be able to obtain those very crucial playoff points and extra bonus points for the stage. They're going to really need it here, as it looks like this is probably going to be the lap where we get the 1 to go signal. We'll see Patrick Gitter up in the front, Heitman second, and looks like that third place car is DeCiani. So a lot of Ralph Hutchinson Motorsports guys out here.
Some of those team members trying something different. Here's a look at the special paint scheme weeks in the next few weeks. Of course, Beers Point we talked about tonight, but next week, drivers represent their favorite sports team at Dover. We'll see how many are able to represent who they like to cheer on. I'm curious if anyone chooses themselves as the favorite sports team, but we might see something. Remember, Soda Wars is going to come out August 23rd. Remember, that race always affiliated with sodas in real life. And Bristol in September is the Rainbow and Neon Night Race. So basically, make it shine bright, make it flicker light. That makes sense. Either way.
I got you. I agree. Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing I think here is, in terms of the paint schemes, it's always fun for the drivers to do. I mean, and those folks that like doing paint schemes, they always try to one-up each other every single week when they do it. However, that's something that you don't normally get in, past NASCAR, early 2000s. You would rarely see custom paints, maybe every once in a while, but most of the time it was always the same paint scheme. You'd always drive the Budweiser car, or you'd always drive the Home Depot car. It was very rare you change your liveries up, but something that in modern times you see a lot of drivers choose to do is just switch it up. And I think it's the changing of how sponsors work. There's a lot of different types that were out there, but whenever you see something custom, it used to be really iconic, like Dale's Rainbow 3. He rarely ran that, but when he did, it was something we all remember. Otherwise, now it's kind of like a different paint every week. Just look at the number and hope that it's the right one. We're going to get the restart here in just a second, though, and I don't know how this front row is going to fare. They're going to have to try and maintain and remember the start zone.
Let's see what happens here. 7 drivers stayed out for stage points. We'll be coming up to 3 laps to go. We head to the restart zone. There is a restart zone starting from this wall to the green flag trigger. Gitter goes just before the trigger. He's off and away and clear.
Cleared before the first little left-hander there. They're going to be single file up the hill. Patrick Gitter, followed by Heitman there. You see the battle now for the 4th place spot there. 3 wide back there. Look at Gossett trying to make it work. 3 wide in the middle. He's going to dive into the corner. He's all over the back bumper of the 4-car DeCiani.
One car had a big spin in the heart of the field. The rest of the field keeps on going. Gitter maintains the race lead. Others that stayed out, like Sean O'Brien Jr., getting the elbows out. Gossett gives him the door. O'Brien gives him the door back.
Oh, around goes Gossett. Just like that. Spun out. He's going to go back into the middle of the track, and he collects Hutchinson. He did not wait for traffic to go through. He just slammed the gas right back into the oncoming traffic, collecting Ralph Hutchinson.
Pure calamity as tempers start to flare. On the radio, O'Brien said, sorry, locked up. The lockup after this swing apparently sends him left. Be the judge.
I don't like that, but I don't like that either. I mean, 2 goods, 2 wrongs don't make a right here, guys. I mean, I don't like that at all. But Patrick Gitter's still hanging on to the lead. We got to focus on this right now. These guys up towards the front. The first guy now, in terms of new, fresh tires, I think is going to be that 6-car Delaney. He's got Dyson on his tail, but Delaney now. They have a long way to go to catch up. They got 2 laps to get there. I don't think they're going to be able to make up that ground. Gitter and Heitman are the 2 out front. They are going to be trying to battle this thing out for the stage point and the playoff point that's ever so valuable here. That you need everything you can get, especially with a win. And both of these guys are fast, and they both have the ability to be able to make use of that playoff point as the 76 is all over the back bumper of our leader. We got to take a look at this. The 21 and the 76, they are really close for the lead here.
teammates fighting, already near 2 seconds up. Coming up to 1 to go in stage 1 here. It's been an interesting one with a lot of argy-barginess for the lead. Does Heitman go for it?
Oh, he sure
showing
does.
the nose. Couldn't get the set fully. Now it's the matter of getting the run once again. Heitman, it's obviously a teammate battle here, but Heitman trying to pick a spot.
Or is he going to make the move? He's all over the back bumper. He knows he's got to do it this lap. This is your only chance. 76 looking low. Getting some clean air on the nose. That 21's going to cut him off here. Heading up the hill again. Looks like that 76 is trying everything he can. He doesn't necessarily get the best of runs on the downhill. Remember, this is the start of a passing zone. 76 dives it in deeper than the 21. They're going to actually be nose to tail. Great exit by the 21 car. I think that's going to make it very hard for Heitman to be able to catch up to him. They make a slightly different line. That 76 is going to have a little less of a run on the exit, but the top two are nose to tail, and they're battling everything they can to be able to get this stage point.
And right now, Gitter continues to be the Pied Piper. Last time by, it was almost a half a second quicker for Heitman. This time, it's more so equal. Coming through to the green-white checker this time by, Heitman was a little bit deeper on the brake, but not close enough to be able to lunge. It's Patrick Gitter coming to the green and white checker flag. He'll take the first stage, and he does so by about half a second for teammate Derek Heitman. Joey Preby able to steal some stage points in third. DeCiani, Delaney, Dyson, followed by Miller, Hill, Vrollman, and Murray are your top 10 as this concludes stage 1 curve.
Not a bad run by Gitter, Heitman, and Preby. We found out exactly that their decision to stay out was the right one for their specific race. Yes, they might not be able to win a race here today, but if they are in the right position and the leaders have problems, possibly. But we saw right there that they could last a couple laps on old tires and hold off the hard-charging drivers with the fresh, good ones. So that's going to be something to pay attention to as we move forward into the following stages. Only on lap 26 of 110. I mean, this race just started and it's been wild already. We've seen the leaders spin out, contact for the lead all the way throughout the field, a whole bunch of spinning, a couple cars already out of the race. It is just a wild beginning of this one here at Sonoma.
We'll take a step aside. When we come back, more coverage. You're watching Maconi Entertainment for tonight's coverage of the Full Length Cup Challenge from Sonoma.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
on to tonight's coverage of the full-length Cup Challenge from Sonoma. Justin Prince alongside Kirk Mills, DJ Lyon producing as we continue on with the action here from Sonoma Raceway. An interesting night so far, to say the very least, Kirk. But Jonathan Delaney is the one who will get the control for this field. 10th on back, pit under this caution. So 9 drivers who pit during the first caution of the day, electing to stay out and have to come in a little bit earlier for stage 2.
That is for sure. Some decided that you can see the line right there, right around 10th place is where folks have just came down pit road. Very few would have came down longer than that. You can see that the entirety of the top 9 all pitted to flip the caution here, so they are going to have older tires. So don't expect too much of a gain from Gitter, Heitman, and Preby here, but they will have fresher tires, and over the course of a long run, that will show out in terms of their lap time. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that as we go to this restart zone.
So Delaney again chose left, specifically on the radio. Delaney was one of the favorites when it came to his ability to drive the road courses. He's an NASCAR driver that's competed against some of the best at the Coke level after all. And one of the things you have to do these days, especially with the Coke Series level, is run good on road courses. Delaney has been solid on them whenever we've seen him.
That is for sure. I'm excited to see if he's able to hang on to the lead here, but this is going to be a good battle between 2 of the top guys. However, I don't like what just happened there. They had kind of this little speed up moment here to get back at the pace speed. Here we go. Let's see what happens. They go to the restart zone, and they are back underway just like that. Great jump from the 6 car. Not the best of restarts for the 41 at Dyson as they head up the hill for the first time. 6 car is going to be clear as around goes Robert Miller up the hill.
He just lost it. Miller goes around from the top 3, and yet again, the bad luck gremlins strike Robert Miller. He went for second and lost it. Did he money shift it?
Money shift, that is rare. He got real loose over there, but luckily he didn't hit anything. His day's not over. He could definitely come back from this. He's going to have a way to be able to do it. I'm sure he'll find a way to make it happen. He's got a fast car and a fast driver. It's just he's got to keep the car under control underneath him. That's the hard part for any driver. It's hard to do that. But right up at the front, we're looking right here. Cameron Stone, look at him, moved up to 6th place just like that. You got Vroman all over his back bumper. But just like that, that 57 car's moved to the top 10 and almost to the top 5. He's got to catch Neil Pearson, who, remember, this car did really well at Chicago, but they're side by side for the lead as Dyson makes a move to the inside of Delaney. And now he's going to be on the outside, but he has him clear. And when they cross the stripe, Andrew Dyson is going to have the lead again.
So Dyson able to vacuum his way up to the top of the racetrack and the top of the pylon. Now it's the matter of seeing how will things go. We'll see how they steady on up here. We know Dyson can pull away if you give him a chance, and right now his chances are growing right now by 3, 4, 5 car lengths already over Delaney. Mind you, the top 3 have built him up for more than a second. Some of the other drivers like the 87 Preby, we talked about him in the field tonight. He's got the Best One sponsorship. He's got drivers like O'Brien Jr. queued up. Gossett right next to him.
Gossett fell back after that little incident there, and he's been trying to recover ever since. That 07 car now currently sitting in the 14th place spot after a couple laps there. Actually moved up to 13th that time by. So 13th for Gossett. He's got a long ways to go to get back into this race, but take a look here. Patrick Gitter, he's got fresher tires than Vroman, making a move to the inside, and it is going to work out for him. Or will it? He's got to have a good run here. He's going to be on the outside going into turn 1 and this little left-hander here. Don't hit that wall, buddy. Hang on to it as Dyson just runs the fastest lap of the race, just like it's nothing. But that 21 car is trying to hang on, trying to still be there with Vroman. They're going to be even as they exit turn number 2 up the hill into that turn 3, 1, and 3A and B right up here. And it looks like Vroman is going to have that advantage as they head up the hill.
In the words of Paul Hill after a pass by Murray, meanwhile, whee! That's because Paul Hill just cut one of the corners significantly. in turn 4. Lost the car, held on to it, took a jump, and went wee. Murray having a good start to stage 2.
You know, I have never heard your voice go that high. That was something else. Let's see if that makes sense. We might need to do some editing over this. Let's see, he goes in the corner, looks fine, he's loose. Oh, hang on to it, buddy. Whoa, whoa. Okay, I don't think that's we. I think that's more, you know, going over the bumps. Oh, goodness. He hanged on to the race car, which is good for Paul. He's got a ways to go to get back up towards the front. But hey, at 26, car control. As they're 3 wide back in the 13th place spot, the 07 just made one heck of a move for that spot. If you go back and take a look at that, that's going to be something to look at right here. The 07 in this little battle here going into 11. Wild pass. Take a look at this right here. They are 3 wide going in. Gossett dives it in deep, gets into DeCiani. DeCiani gets in the Preby, and he passes them both just like that. I don't care. I'm getting to the front. I don't care who gets mad at me. I'm going right back up towards the front.
Trying to gain all the time back right now. The first of those who just pit are still down in 8th position. Tommy Gossett spent 1 minute and 4 seconds getting damage repair from the initial hit, I think was Ralph Hutchinson. As a result of that contact on the rejoin. Benefield right now maintaining in the 14th spot. Lost a couple spots from his initial starting spot. Not really a road course racer, but can put together decent finishes.
Yes, he sure can. You know, that 83 car, oh, we got a battle right here with Tanner Marty and 98 of Williams. They're side by side, door banging right now. Hang on to it. Williams going to take the spot away from the 29 of Tanner Marty. But yeah, when we're talking about Adam Benefield here on the road courses, he is someone who says he's not a road course racer, yet he still finishes second whenever he races hard. But these guys are still going at it. That 29 dove it in way deeper than the 98 would have liked. And that takes the spot right on back. Just like that, these guys are battling further in the back for the top 20 place spot right now. As we go further up through the field, you can take a look here at the 5 car. He's got that Hennessy race car right there, trying to chase down that 20 car for the Sprite vehicle. I don't know why. I'm guessing he's a big fan of Hennessy. I mean, that's interesting.
I mean, it is part of the theme tonight and breaks the tradition of I'm a Kyle Busch fan. Outside of maybe the associate sponsors. He is getting the run at least. And Anderson given a lot of space. Vadero's a lot of respect shown to the boss man for this series.
There's a lot of respect for that 5 car. Everybody in the field has it, that's for sure. We're looking at Robert Miller now. Remember, he spun out on that initial restart as we got Medeiros off track up ahead, hanging on to the race car, splitting dirt out the rear end just like that. And it sounds like that 9 and 5, that 15 car is trying to chase him down again, but that 15 car has gained a whole lot more ground since the start after he spun out. He's coming back through the field, that is for sure.
Gino were able to make the pass, as now here comes the run for DeCiani. Matt DeCiani maintaining around 10th to 12th speed tonight. Hunter Trudeau, meanwhile, he's been able to pick up spots, but the thing is, he's the second to last out of those who stayed out under the last caution. Third to last, in fact, including William Owens. So this is a part of a gamble here for the 71 to get track position, and so far, not top 10 right now, but he is holding up a train of cars.
Yeah, that 71 car, he is always aggressive. He's Ryan Newman to try and get by, and also whenever he's trying to get on by you, you know, he's very aggressive to say the least. That 71, though, just going off track just like that. Take a look. Hang on to the race car. He's now side by side. DeCiani's going to get right on by him. And just like that, the 71 is going to lose a spot. Hunter Truel is now dropped a spot just like that. And now Preby's trying to get on by him as well.
Preby forces the issue up to the hairpin. Getting a long sign coming out of turn 11, but no dice yet again. Seems so difficult to make some of these passes here as here comes out of series teammates battling it out. Heitman looking to reach some heights here as he tries to find a way around Gossett. Couldn't make the poke though in this Fortis car.
This battle's going to continue for sure. I think Gossett's actually got a little bit more speed than Heitman. We'll see over the course of the run if that's still true. However, what I can tell you is we got 3 cars really close to each other right ahead of this battle right here. We got Patrick Gitter, Nicholas Vroman, and Cameron Stone. They are all in their own little 3-way pack here, and they have been kind of stuck together as of late. I think the 21 might be slightly faster than Vroman. We'll have to see if he's able to get the job done around him, or if Vroman's able to make any moves to get past the 57 there. Stone, by the way, great run by Stone and Neil Pearson as well, both cars, showing they have a lot of speed. It's interesting to be able to see how these cars are able to, show consistency in terms of their performances. I mean, we talked about it earlier in terms of the betting odds, but the one thing I wanted to mention is that Neil Pearson, something good about that driver is he finished second in Chicago, but he didn't really run Circuit of the Americas, but he qualified well this week in 8th. But he's also lower in points than 22nd, so that attributed to why he's a little further back, 9th currently in the betting odds. But that 62 car running top 5, showing why he should be a little higher considered in that poll. He's got the road course speed.
Does have the speed here, but here's a look at Paul Hill. He rides on and tries to find a way to get back to the 7. Paul Hill has good short to medium pace. The long run, past that mid run, seems to have been the issue so far. He is approaching that long run pace right now after leading 12 laps. He's fallen to the 114s. The leader of Dyson has yet to even make it to that point.
It's surprising to see how far Hill has actually fallen back, but the most surprising thing of this little battle that we've seen since the incident where he went off track. Actually, we got a battle here that just happened. The car behind Gitter and Gossett. Gossett just got by Patrick Gitter. Now he's caught up to the back bumper of Stone. He's trying to catch Vroman. Vroman got by Stone, and now this 07 car, he's on a mission. That car is fast. He's got a lot of speed in that 07. He's showing it right now. He used the bumper to get around in a 21 car. It worked out for him, and he was able to get on by. But now he's got to catch up to the back bumper of Cameron Stone. Very aggressive driver. We'll see if he's able to do it. He's making up a peak down to the inside. Stone's going to let him go through, it looks like. No, Stone battles hard. He's going to hang on to the position as Gossett's trying to dive bomb again.
Or send up the inside. Stone forced to lift. That forces him back a spot, and Gossett able to make up the 7th position as a result of that pass there. Some chippiness building up on the radio between the 65 and the 15. Robert Miller just made the pass on Sean O'Brien Jr. Miller was able to make the pass pretty easily, and things are getting very chippy.
It seems like he just wasn't happy that he dive bombed the corner to make the pass, but he made the corner, so I mean, you can't get too mad at him. I think he's just having a rough day, that 65. We'll see over the course of the run if that changes, but Robert Miller, he's making his way back up. Remember, he's fast. He started 4th today. He's dropped back to 16th after that spin on the restart. But even though after that spin, he was able to come back and almost crack top 15 if he's able to catch up to the back bumper of Joey Preby here. Now, Tommy Gossett is trying to catch up to the back bumper of Roman. I think that's going to be a battle that we're going to want to look at a little later on. But right here, you see the 76 of Heitman and the 21 of Patrick Gitter. These guys were battling for the stage win just a handful of laps ago, but now they're nose to tail sitting back here in 9th and 10th trying to hang on to stage points. We're coming up to lap 40 when they finish out this lap. And remember that for the stages, it's important to remember that this ends, I believe, on lap 55. So we got to keep that in mind. We're getting closer to that stage point. When they cross the stripe, there'll be 16 more laps before we get there.
We're quickly zooming through the stage, mind you, as we still see that battle for third, the highest running of the battles going on the racetrack at the moment. Murray doing a good job on speed. Looking like Murray's in a great spot to be able to at least get a top 5 tonight in that Precision Speed Incorporated machine. He seems to be dialed in. He seems comfortable. He seems composed, not winning speed right now, but he's got great contention speed. In terms of that long run pace, Dyson is just on another planet, but everybody else is in the same ballpark as Murray.
Something to mention about Mr. Murray here, Alex Murray. He finished second at Circuit of the Americas, and who did he finish second to? Andrew Dyson. However, Murray led 49 laps in that race. He has an average finish in terms of the road courses here of about 7.5. He qualified 7th today, and he's currently 16th in the point standings. And Alex Murray, he doesn't necessarily need to worry about it. He's got plenty of, he's got to win, I think, to be able to actually make it in. But Alex Murray in the 7 car, he's had the 4th best odds out of all the drivers today to be able to finish it well. So he had about, like I said, the 4th best. So with that in mind, he's running top 5 right now, sitting in 3rd. Having a great day, just continued, no mistakes. That's the way to go right here. But Paul Hill is trying to chase him down, to try to send him down one more spot.
Just maintaining each other's distance right now seems to be the major thing between these two. Under 70 laps overall in the race to go, less than 15 in the stage for these competitors. Nicholas Roman, by the way, is starting to pull a bit of a distance still on Gossett in that battle for 6th position. Cam Stone, Patrick Gitter, Derek Heitman are also a battle pack at the moment. Neil Pearson on his own. We mentioned the success at Chicago, but 62 also maintaining top 5 speed. What kind of goes to your mind now in this type of a race, knowing how physically demanding this racetrack can be in general, Kirk, here at a track like Sonoma?
Well, it depends on the driving style. A lot of drivers normally prefer to use the left foot as their brake pedal instead of, like, you know, doing the clutch and the brake pedal on the left foot and the gas pedal. It's kind of, they have different ways to actually work the pedals. Typically the best drivers like Dyson and stuff like that, they typically use the clutch. Everybody else usually pops, pops gears with popping the gas on and off here. Best way to put it, but you see right here Patrick Gitter making a move on the outside of Cameron Stone. We'll get back to that topic here in a minute after this battle. It looks like that Patrick Gitter's got a good run, but that 57 just can't seem to hang on, and he's going to invite the door open here. Look at the 76. He's trying to scoot his way through as well. Heitman's trying to get up to 9th. He's got one spot to be able to get there, but that 57 seems to be losing pace on the long run. Something to mention while we're talking about this. But it's very physically demanding. After just a handful of laps, most of these guys are already sweating. I mean, it is actually very taxing on your body to be able to race. Even though you don't feel the G-forces, it's very how do I put this? It's just like so difficult to keep your mind in the game, not make any mistakes, and keep doing that. And we got people, after just a couple laps, they will feel exhausted, but you got to go 110 laps like the Cup guys do on Sunday. It's a little easier now that they decided to make life easier on all the drivers putting stage out there. I don't necessarily like that idea, but that's what they do. And, there's cautions. I always say that if we get a green flag run all the way through the entire race, that's whenever you'll start seeing drivers have heat exhaustion problems. Like they will make more mistakes towards the end because they're more mentally exhausted than what they might have when we have these breaks, these stages. So it's all about keeping cool and keeping your brain focused on just one job at a time, getting into a rhythm. Try to shut off the brain, to be honest with you, so you can focus on just relaxing and getting into a rhythm. That's the hard part. But up in the front, Dyson, a league of his own. He's already 4 seconds ahead of Delaney, who again was a Coke Series driver. So he's way faster on this road course than anybody is.
How quickly Dyson's growing the gap. Absolutely 4 seconds is the advantage of the moment. Gossett slowly chipping away at Vroman in the backdrop of all this, by the way. And remember, Gossett having to fix all that damage so far on the car. Seems to still have the speed to be able to keep himself in the hunt. The problem is actually making some of these moves right now. He's a couple tenths quicker. That's to Vroman's bumper.
Yeah, one thing about the 07, the reason why we didn't have him in the top 15 in terms of our betting odds is because he DNF'd at Chicago. He finished 28th after disconnecting for the server. Contact! He gets into the wall just like that! We were just talking about it. Contact, that's going to bring him a lot of damage. That's what we're talking about. We can't put him too high in the betting odds. He makes mistakes like that might cause him to have a harder race as we go. I mean, that just shows you it can happen at any time, but these road courses need 100% attention, and it just made a bad mistake right there.
Just pinged off the wall, turned too much into the left. Paul Hill going for the move on Murray meanwhile. This has been a slow simmer for a little while, but it's Murray who's got the advantage in front.
I mean, that was a heck of a move to try and get on by, but he really needed to try and battle him hard there. I don't think that that's really an easy passing zone unless they make a huge mistake in that corner. But that 7 car in the 26, I mean, they are really showing some speed right now. I don't know if that 26 is going to be willing to dive bomb, but he knows he can if he wants to. Goes in deep, misses the back bumper, pushes him up and out of the groove a little bit, but still hangs on to the race car, and Murray's still going to be up in the third place spot after that lap. Remember, these guys are in third and fourth. They are almost 11 seconds behind the leader. Shows you how good Dyson and Delaney are. But Dyson has extended his lead now to 5 seconds, which is phenomenal. As Hill's all over the back bumper, that 7 car for third.
Yeah, still wants the spot, still pressurizing. Trying to force a mistake, maybe get some error off that spoiler. And the thing about Hill, he doesn't like to use contact for a lot of these passes right now, so he's just minding his own business. Mind you, Pearson, Vroman, and Gossett have all driven up to this battle. That's how hard they've been starting to battle a little bit here for this position. The harder you fight here, Kirk, the more time you can potentially lose, and that seems to be what's happening here.
That is for sure. You know, I got to think about this right here. I think that 07, he is very aggressive, and once he catches up to the back bumper of these guys, I think that that's going to be interesting to watch as Hill makes a move down to the inside of Murray. I think Murray knows he's faster. He's going to let him through. Maybe. No, he tries to battle hard. They're still side by side, and the 7 car is going to have the run. And just like that, oh my gosh, hang on to the race car, Paul. That car got real loose there on the exit there of the final little bend there. Up the hill now, nose to tail, still, man, that 26 wants that spot bad. He gets into him again. He's going to be side by side into the left-hander here.
Yet again, tried another send, couldn't get it done. 1 second lost, yet again. How long does Hill remain patient here? They've lost a ton of ground to Delaney with this. Here's another send up the inside.
Ooh, behind him too, same thing. But Hill, it looks like they're going to be even on this exit here. Still side by side. Nope, he's going to pull right back inside. And now, because of this battle, they have created a 5-car train right here. You got from third place on back until you hit Gossett. And Gossett has the freshest tires out of all of those cars. However, he also just got some damage, so remember that too. That might be slowing him slightly. So Gossett has the freshest tires in this group, but he is driving pretty aggressive, and we see that Vroman knows it, so he's trying to take the defensive line into the corner. Oh, Murray! He spun it. He saved the car, though. He got back going. It looks like he is going to lose all those spots, but Murray drops back after just losing it in the corner there. I don't think that anybody hit him. We'll have to take a look at that again to make sure.
The Voodoo Ranger machine just got loose on its own. Fought the car, but loses the ground. So Murray fights for as long as he can. Now Hill's up to third, Pearson to fourth. Vroman and Gossett also getting on through.
Nice job getting back going, though. We saw earlier other cars spin out in that similar area, and they lost a whole lot of ground. But on that particular run, they did exactly the right thing. They were able to, get back on the gas quick. Nobody was coming, and he just got back in line. And just like that, he's still going to possibly get some stage points here as we're coming to the end of the stage in less than 10 laps time. But that 07's trying to get every spot he can. He's caught up to the back bumper of Vroman, but Vroman's all over the back bumper as well of Pearson. If he's able to make the move, he just actually made that gap huge. That's a lot larger, so I think Vroman's having some issues as up front. Here we go to the inside. He dove it in really deep dive bomb there. The 92 is a lap car on the outside there. Don't worry about it. Vroman gets loose, and Gossett gets on by.
So Vroman, yet again, having some maneuvers there. But it's Gossett up to the top 5 as they make their way up the hillside. Again, as mentioned, under 10 laps to work with here in this stage. These drivers look to finish things out strongly before that stage caution at lap 55. And the tough thing about a lot of this for some of these drivers is they've been pushing hard on the fuel tanks here. it's going to be close, you'd have to think, at some of these markers, but should be okay for the most part, it looks like.
I think that they're all going to make it on gas. I'm not necessarily going to say it can't happen, but I think that they understand the field situation right now. And also, something we want to keep in mind for Delaney's point right here. You could flip the stage if you have about a 8-second gap from you to the leader. So Delaney right now is at 6.6. So if he wants to flip the stage, he's got to stay under 8 seconds from him to the leader. If it's 7.5, you can still make it if you really push. But if it's at 8, you gotta, I mean, it's almost not gonna happen. So Dyson's gotta put on the jets right now to try and make sure that that gap gets up to about 8 seconds. If he's able to do that, then he's definitely gonna be able to stop him from flipping the stage, because they will lose a lap if they do.
Absolute domination here in this stage from Dyson, mind you. Just blisteringly quick. It seems like it's gonna be his type of a night to be able to move on to the bracket, to be able to move his way forward in terms of points. Lap traffic ahead. William Owens has had some troubles with navigation today. It looks like he goes wide right. And another send. Patrick Gitter able to get through on Derek Heitman.
Yeah, these two have been nose to tail just like this entire time. I mean, that 76 is trying everything he can to get on by. But he's definitely shown that he's got the speed to be able to compete, but it's just can't seem to get on by. That's the hard part of it. We got a battle now. The 07 is trying to catch up to the back bumper of Pearson, and I think he's going to get there before the end of the stage. That 07 is really putting on the jets. But remember, the reason that we didn't put him so high on the thing, I got to remind you, is that he was 28th at Chicago, didn't finish, and at Circuit of the Americas, he didn't even run the race. So he qualified second today, which is why we put him where he was. But he's 40th in points. He comes out here every now and again, but he has a hard time finishing races. And with that in mind, I mean, we saw it earlier. He got into the wall, made a little mistake, but it's no mistake that he has speed. It's just being able to make sure the car is clean to get to the end of the race. That's the hard part, and he's got to be able to make it happen. He's doing a good job so far, sitting 5th, but he's got some damage from that contact we saw earlier.
Still hasn't hurt him. These cars can take a bit of contact, but still have to be careful with it. Pearson and Dirty Self Equipment showing the speed of that setup once again. Oh, bad corner, Pearson. Gossett might force the issue here. Looking like he's trying to go for the setup. There's the run, there's the launch. There's the send for the hairpin. Have to move up as Gossett.
Wow, I mean, that's actually really good for him, that 07 car. I mean, with the amount of damage he has, he's loose. You can see it right there. I think he might have some sort of steering damage as well where he hit the wall. And with that in mind, that car is just not driving on rails right now. It is driving on ice. He's trying to hang on to the race car. He's only got to do it for a handful of laps more, and then he'll be fine. But again, Cameron Stone's sitting in 10th right now, showing that he's gained the most spots out of anybody so far in terms of difficulty of passing. Tanner Marty started 26, gained the same amount of spots here, but the hard part is being able to get on by. That one car, though, he's a lapper there, Dustin Hall. He's going to lose a little bit of time again. He's dropping back behind Vroman. But these three cars are now pretty much set in stone, but Vroman, I think, is going to try to get by Pearson. I think that's going to be the next battle that we'll see in terms of the top 5.
Yeah, that will be Ford set top 5 to end off the stage. Less than 5 to go in stage number 2. How are things going for Robert Miller? Well, he's been able to reel in Cam Stone for top 10 positioning. Last time by the 115.2s, but he's been in the midst of this fight. And it's been a struggle in terms of consistency early in the runs for Miller. But as the run goes, even with sends like that, able to make moves. Murray flipping the stage, coming in.
I don't know if that's such a good idea right now. I mean, you got to be able to hang on to the lead lap to make this work. And you only got a minute 13, so maybe I think it might work. It depends on how much ground he was behind the leader. He was sitting in 3rd, and remember, we heard yesterday from Bryson Hicksonball, currently the person that is doing race control for this race that you needed about 8 seconds to be able to pit and still not lose a lap. So we'll see how he does when the leader catches him back around. The leader right now heading towards turn 11. He's heading there right now. So it's going to be, I think the 7's going to make it out. He's going to be able to flip the stage just fine. It looks like that gap is a little larger than 8 seconds for the Cup Series, so that's good for them. I think that 7 car is going to be able to hang on for now. Dyson is coming to the line, though, here in just a few moments. Does anybody else decide to come down and try to flip the stage like that? I think really the top 8 might be able to. But Delaney right there is the one who's doing it. It's a smart choice.
Jonathan Delaney looking to roll the dice. We'll see where he settles on in, if he's in front of Murray or not. Coming around this time. Going to be 2 to go next time by. Not this time. Pit road's not closed yet. Delaney stops in the box. Well, Dyson continues on here. 16 seconds now the margin. Up at the front of the field for Dyson. He is just electrifyingly quick long run. Every single race on the road course, it seems.
He's been the car to beat. He's been the #1 car. Clear favorite. He won at Chicago. He won at Circuit of the Americas. His average finish is 1.0 on road courses this year. He's led 112 laps across all the road courses, and he qualified 3rd today. He's sitting 4th in points, 3 wins on the season, and I think he wants a 4th one in this race. He's going to come around turn 11, and he's going to be able to take the stage by a huge margin. He's led 28 laps today. Man, that's awesome. Dyson takes stage 2.
It's not done yet.
Oh,
not done
one more
yet.
lap. I'm sorry.
There's still 2 more laps.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I am. Let me head back and start, stop drinking things. There we go.
So Dyson has now gotten the pit road closed. Lap traffic has been an issue for him today. He'll be able to get through pretty efficiently. Paul Hill and Tommy Gossett have closed up in terms of battle. Yes. Where are you, Kurt?
I don't know. I don't even remember. Don't worry about it, all right? It happens sometimes, all right? It all happens. It's fine. 41, though, I doubt that the odds will change at all. He's still in the right position to be able to do this.
Just coming up to the green, white checkered next time by. Should be 1 to go on the stage this time by the stripe. At risk of being a lap down, but in the lucky dog spot, Ralph Hutchinson, who's had a whirlwind of a day, to say the very least. Incidents galore, had a big crash at the end of one of the stages that ended up destroying his front clip. And now we keep going to the 1 to go. Dyson, 1 lap to go in stage number 2.
That 8 car wants to stay on the lead lap. You know that for a fact, that 8 car. He's on the tail end of the lead lap right now. He's got to stay ahead of Dyson if he wants to be able to still be involved in this race, that 8 car. You see Prevey here in the 83. They're battling for position as well. That is for the 11th place spot, so not for stage points. Not necessarily going to matter too much. Just track position. They got a long way to 10th, so that's not going to be really a concern for them. DeCiani on forward. It's going to be DeCiani, Stone, and Robert Miller. Take a look at this guy. Remember, he spun out at the beginning of this stage. He's made his way all the way back up to the 8th place spot. And just like that, he's going to be able to get some stage points. But another battle. Look at this. Paul Hill and Gossett. Gossett's got a lot of speed in the last handful of laps. Caught up to the back bumper of Paul Hill. And that battle is still going to be raging on as well.
This is getting a little bit interesting here. But Dyson, no issue with the traffic. Hutchinson does maintain the lead lap. It's Andrew Dyson who wins stage number 2.
Oh, Gossett dove bomb on the 26. He moves him up out of the way, and he's going to gain an extra spot. Well, I don't know why he's doing it. Oh, he gave it back. He gave it back. That was interesting right there. He gave it back.
Obviously didn't like the way he took that spot. So Hill over Gossett, Pearson, and Vroman, the top 5. Then it's a ways back for the rest. So let's see what happened for this set.
I think he's just practicing for the end of the race. Remember, he's 40th in points. It's not going to be a big deal for him, but he dove bombed the corner, still made the corner, moved him up out of the way, and then he's like, you know what? I don't like the way I did that. Go ahead. You can have the spot back. That was surprising.
Yellow flag is out. Gitter finished in front of Heitman, Miller, Stone, DeCiani. Well, the top 10 for the stage. We'll take a break. Stage 3, a lengthy one coming up from Sonoma.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to the broadcast as we continue on here for the full-length Cup Challenge here at Sonoma Raceway. Justin Prince Kirk Mills with you, GG Line producing as we continue on with this one. Stage 3 getting underway. Dyson picking up the stage win will restart in 3rd position. For what's been a dominating day for him. Let's take the opportunity, if we can, to speak with Andrew Dyson as he rolls himself from a good starting spot for stage 3. Dyson, you've been electrifyingly quick once again. What's going to the mind right now as you've controlled this race whenever you've gotten a clean air in the long run?
Going through my mind right now, I'm going to get a clean restart here. I know these guys have flipped the stage and I was expecting to be behind Alex and John. So yeah, try and keep it clean here at the start, see if I can make some moves and yeah, hopefully get to the front. But if not, we can try like move around when I want to pit, like bring it forward, bring it backwards, depending on what's happening around me. So got some options.
Right now looking like you're going to be starting from 3rd spot, left side, taken by Delaney here for the restart. So overall, how would you describe this season charge here with what you've been able to do in this stretch of races, especially you're looking really good to be able to be in the final four for the in-season tournament?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's not something that's seriously on my mind, but I just want to come out and try and win the race today. But yeah, being part of the last four in the little in-season competition is pretty cool. So hopefully I can give that a little shake. But man, I've been sort of looking at the lineup, and we were actually talking about it last week after the last race, and to get to the last round, and if I can make it to the last round, whoever I get out of the guys that are still in it right now, they're going to be really tough to beat. So if I can make it past Dover and get to the last one, it's going to be a pretty tall task. But I think everyone would kind of say the same thing, because the competition in here is it's quite competitive. So yeah.
Once you get back to your team, thanks for the time.
No worries, guys. Thanks.
Andrew Dyson will start in third. It would be cool to get all the way through with the bracket. There's a lot of heavy hitters still in the tournament, like Heitman, who's been well ahead of Princeton today, who would be the next matchup for Dyson if Dyson does indeed finish ahead of DeCiani. But we're getting ready for stage 3. 51 laps, Kirk. That's going to be a mile and well, it's going to be a marathon.
Yeah, it's going to be a marathon, not a mile. That is for sure. It's going to be exciting. We know what that 41 has to do, but these top two guys know what they have to do. They have to keep that 41 behind them. They're going to have to maintain speed here. They all come through that little corner. The wall right there. And they get a jump. Delaney gets loose. He loses it 3 wide on the line. That's going to put him back a few spots. They're going to be 3 wide up the hill just like that. Delaney could not hang on to the race car as Alex Murray is going to take the lead away, being a beneficiary of Delaney getting loose on the restart.
Big opportunity.
Oh, Delaney! Saved it! What a save! Oh, he lost it right there, in on into the barrier. Oh, you thought he had it saved, but he made contact, got loose again, and that day is over for the 6 car.
Things went from bad off the start to worse to nightmare. What else can you say? Delaney, a good race, thrown out the window.
Loose there on the bottom of a hill there. He saved the race car. Came off the corner there a little loose as well. He hits the 62 of Pearson and then right head on into a tire barrier. Oh, you hate to see it. That was actually wild. You wouldn't expect to see that, but you know, that was actually something that we mentioned earlier in the week as the battle for the lead. Now here comes that 41 Dyson all over the back bumper of Murray trying to get a pass made on them for this lead spot. But we've got to talk about Delaney. Over the last handful of road courses, we were talking about it, high incident points throughout both races. And the main thing we had to see was him being able to avoid calamity. And unfortunately, this week, it does not look like that trend will stop. So unfortunately, that will take him out of the race, as the top 2 now are going to be battling for position here as we have 50 laps to go.
Yeah, still plenty of race laps to go. Pretty Monsto's is having an issue in 3A, hearing on the radio, but has been able to get off the racetrack. Everybody else continues on. And Dyson going to be able to take his time here. Fresher tires. Murray doesn't get as good of a corner exit, and Dyson just waiting for his chance. He doesn't have to force anything. There's plenty of time. Oh, he forced himself inside, got himself loose, still sends it.
Plenty of time. Nope, he wants it now. That's what he wants. He wants to win this race, but just like that, he goes wide. Here comes the 7 of Alex Murray right back under over move, and he's going to make it work. And I think he's going to have him clear going into the straightaway here. And 49 laps to go. F41 wants that lead now, not later, right now.
Good cross back to be able to get that back to the way of the 7. And we know Murray likes to fight hard for this type of a spot. He's made mistakes times in these battles here tonight. Dyson, nearly trying to move him off the racing line, sent him very deep in the braking zone. Does he go for the lunge? Yes, he does. Dyson flat lines to the point. Murray takes the air off the spoiler on the crossover.
That was awesome. That was cool. Murray's doing a great job leading this race. He was my dark horse all week. I was telling him that I thought this man was going to be the guy that had a chance to be able to do it. He's fast. He's got speed. You know, he finished P2 at Circuit of the Americas. I think he has a real shot to win this race if he's able to hold off Dyson, but only if he can stay in front of him. That's the only goal. But here comes Dyson dive bombing it in again. And maybe another under over move. But no, the 41 parks it right on the center. And that will get the job done. The 41, Dyson takes the lead back with just a, looks like just a great move in general. That was one of the best moves I've seen all day. 48 laps to go.
Nicely done. And now Dyson can try and see how big the margin can get. Next up in the racing line, Paul Hill, ready to try and see what he can do. Remember, Murray and Hill have already scrapped very hard in this race. They lost about 5-6 seconds from their fighting. Now they can do it again.
Now, earlier this week, we see these drivers battling hard, but now Paul Hill, remember, he was second. He had the fastest lap time from qualifying. He's all over the back bumper of Alex Murray. Now, Murray's got to play defense. He cannot just relax and try and get away from everybody. He has a car right there that could dive bomb at any moment. He's all over the back bumper. I think that 26 is going to make a move right here into 11, just like this on the inside. He dives it in deep, but not crazy deep. He's giving him room. They're going to be side by side on the exit of the 11. And it looks like that Murray's going to have the run to be able to clear him heading back to the start-finish line. So this battle ain't over by any means.
So still trying to find a way to get right on by. No place to poke, no place to send, no place to shove. Murray getting a little bit twitchy now as Hill goes to the bumper. Nicholas Vroman doesn't force the issue. They're starting to get queued up yet again. Starting to get a little bit more dicey here for Murray on those rear tires.
He did everything he could to try and hang on to the position whenever he was battling with the leader, and that may have burned his stuff up, and that may be a little difficult to be able to hang on to. But we'll see how it goes over the course of the run, that's for sure.
Now Hill over the rear end, trying to force the 7 loose. No. The answer. Now they're all joining up at the queue. Pearson, Heitman, Gitter. Oh, Stone and Miller started scrapping. In fact, someone hit the barrier. I think Miller's around again. Robert Miller, speed again, hit the barrier.
Oh, you hate to see it. He was so fast. Take a look and see what happened here heading into that little U-shaped turn 11 here. Heads into the corner. F-15's fast, but man, he's... let's see what happened. This may have happened in the Xfinity race yesterday as well. We'll have to see how it looked. He just got loose on his own. He hit the barrier very lightly. So, I mean, his car is going to be fine. He only loses a couple spots, I think. But I wouldn't count him out quite yet. I think with this in mind, stages are done, but he's got to be able to somehow, get it and hope for a caution. That's what he's going to need, as we just saw a pass there. The 07 to Gossett just got by to 65. Gossett's trying to crack back into the top 10, and it looks like that he's going to actually do that this time. So into the top 10, Gossett goes, getting 2 for 1 there.
Having to slip on through as now Pearson works his way around. Pearson top 5 speed right now tonight, has gotten the car. So the scrapes are really fixed throughout the course of the pit stop sequences. And right now, just trying to get things closed up. We know the dirty self cars are fast. And Pearson's kind of solidified and showcased that it's not just the driver, it's the setup that seems to be right dialed in for Dirty Self tonight once again.
Yeah, that just is a fast team in general. They seem to hang on to the race cars and get to a good position. That's for sure. But, right now, that second place car with Murray, he's really kind of holding up this little group here. That's whenever you start seeing a line form at Sonoma, it's mostly due to the car at the front of the line being extremely difficult to pass. And it looks like that's kind of what we're seeing here. Not super, like a really big deal, but enough to where you're starting to see some folks get close to each other but can't quite make the pass, or can't break through that bubble. But we'll see if that changes throughout this run here. We got 45 laps to go. So with that in mind, we got to think pit stops. We know that that's going to be coming eventually. That's what I was going to get to, which is this pit strategy plan. I mean, short pitting is a kind of a really good idea, I think. As soon as you can make it to the end, whatever lap that is at, I think that is going to be the lap that you want to pit. So that way, you know, you're not going to lose a lap unless you're like towards the back of the field, in which case you might want to stay out longer. But if you're up in the front, if you pit early, that means you can stay out on the caution, and you might have a handful of laps older tires, but you'll still have the lead in the track position. And track position, as we've seen, is a big deal here at Sonoma. You want that track position. We saw the 76 and the 21, whenever stage 1 end happened, they were able to hold their own on that restart from Delaney, hard charging Delaney. They had a handful of seconds before that became a problem. So with that in mind, let's just keep an eye on those that decide to pit a little early, because I think that might be a good strategy for those that can pit and still end up staying on the lead lap.
Yes, indeed. Still no dice in terms of the battle, yes. Either in terms of what we're seeing right now, right down to 43 laps to work with. Oh, a near contact yet again. I was going to say with this too here, Kirk, you can almost see the patience wearing thin with the 26, knowing they've got to go. They've lost 4 seconds to the leader. But it's almost a hopeless feeling with what Hill's not been able to... Oh, Murray hit the wall!
Oh my gosh, what just happened to the 7 car? Oh, you hate to see it. He just clipped the wall. He's got to get back going. He's got plenty of room. He can go if he wants. Oh, no. He got a little tight off that corner there and clipped the wall, I think. Let's take a look here up the hill. He'll be in the next corner, next set of corners right up here. Go down. It looks fine. No big deal. Sitting in second and just... Oh, I don't think that was a good angle to see it. We might need to scoot that back just a little bit. 10 seconds maybe. Oh, I couldn't quite tell. Here we go. Let's see it again in this camera.
I think he hit the left rear on the tire bundle. Yes, he did.
Wow, he got loose, hit the right rear. Okay, so... Oh, you hate to see that. But now that made a battle there for Vroman. Vroman got on through, I think. Vroman now moves up to the third place spot. Paul Hill. Now the entirety of that second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place spots are all under grabs. And that 26 got a little left front damage from that contact. And where 7 ended up getting leveled out was 15th. So he lost a lot of spots after making a slight mistake. Oh, another mistake right here. That's Bobby Anderson. Heavy right front damage. The right front wheel is completely off. I think the 5 car is done for the day. He's going to park it right on the outside of the outside of the racing line. Let's see what happened here. Oh, he clipped the barrels. That's exactly what happened in the Xfinity Series race earlier today. That right front wheel is broken when he clipped the barrel, and he didn't know it. He goes on the straightaway, and he hits the wall hard. That just tells you exactly what it is. That tire barrier is like one of the hardest things to try and avoid, because it will rip off the right front part of your car if you hit it.
In real life now, those are concrete barriers too, not tire bundles. So it's either way, like well, hitting a concrete wall figuratively or literally, no matter what time period you're in. So now Anderson is out of the race. That puts us to 5 drivers off the racetrack with incidents. Gitter trying to battle with his teammates still. Looking for an air poke, couldn't get it.
Now, Heitman got by the 21 a handful of laps ago, but they are still fast together. But every time we saw them up until this point, they were swapped the other way. Now take a look at Gossett in the 07 as well. He's cracked the top 10. Now he's all over the back bumper of DeCiani. Again, DeCiani having a lovely day. That 4 car, something we just got to talk about that car is he's getting passed here by the 07. The 07 dove in deep, and it does not look like he's going to make the pass. But one thing about the 4 car that you could always say whenever you see him out here on a racetrack is he's consistent. That car seems to just always have the car underneath him. He's clean, he's reliable. He qualified 10th today. He finished 5th at Chicago, 6th at Circuit of the Americas. He's a driver that gets to the end of the races with a clean car. The 07, though, might have something to say about it. He's going to try and dive on the corner. He gets down to the inside. The 4 gives him plenty of room and just lets Gossett go as he gets a little loose trying to save the race car. He does save it. But that 04 car is definitely somebody who's clean, and you can see it in the statistics.
Yes, indeed. Cam Stone, we're taking a look at in front of him. Right now, just trying to hold on to the Coors Light machine. He's brought this paint scheme out a couple times, but fitting for the theme here in Sonoma. And Cam Stone, great run last time out as well. Had what was described as a top-tier interview with how excited he was. Hasn't had the same pace here today, but Stone's a solid road course racer in this series.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you wouldn't expect from the guy when you first meet him, but I can tell you right now, he definitely knows how to, get a car that's able to work for him and help him out, make him look way more comfortable in the car than other racetracks. Cameron Stone, he's one of my favorite to watch. So, I mean, one of the drivers that, in his beer car, by the way, even though it's beer weekend where you, put on a beer paint scheme, he drives that thing all the time. Coors Light's his thing. He loves it. So at 57, Cameron Stone showing that he has a lot of speed. Top 10 run tonight. 7th right now, actually. He's got Gossett all over the back bumper, though. He's got to look out.
Plus 10 in terms of the run. Might be a plus 9 in a moment here. Gossett has a lot of speed. 7/10 quicker last time. There goes Stone.
Yeah, he overcooked the corner. Luckily, he missed the barrier. Lucky guy. But Gossett's going to let go on right on by. And the 57 trying to catch back up to him. I think that there's a little bit of a move there. We'll have to see exactly what happened here. We got a replay of it on the edge of the barrier here. That's Dyson going on by. And you can see how close these guys are getting when they come through this corner. They're going to go over the bumps, and they actually get to the outside line. Some of them, very few actually stay to the inside if you're fast. But he went way off compared to everybody else. You can see the difference is very visible. Battle for third, though. Pearson actually gained some ground on Vroman, I think. He was to the back bumper of him heading into 11 just earlier that same lap. So I think that 62 might be slightly faster than Vroman right now.
Yeah, just a little bit. He was 4/10 quicker last time. The average pace has been a 10th quicker the past 5 from Pearson. So the 62 has some good consistency behind it, as we touched upon. It's just a matter of actually closing up and getting these positions, it seems, in terms of actually making the battle after some of the pushing and shoving we've seen earlier on. And right now, for many of these drivers, it's going to be how these cars are able to handle the mechanical grip around this racetrack. These tires are already 15 laps of the run again.
Getting down to the end of this thing, I think people are going to start thinking about pit stops. All right, when am I going to come down? I think that might be sooner rather than later. I would not want to stay out too long. You kind of want to cut it in half if you can. That's always a safe bet if you can cut the end of the race in half from the stage to now. So with that in mind, considering we have 110 laps in the entirety of this event, and the end of that last stage happened right on lap 55, you could expect seeing some folks coming in maybe, I'd say probably in the next 5 to 10 laps, somewhere in that range. It's definitely going to be happening soon, and when it does, we want to pay attention to pit entry because that is a very difficult pit road to go into, and you do not, and I mean this, there's always a chance of that debris caution, and you do not want to be caught on pit road when that caution comes out. It actually might be a benefit if you're past the commitment line, but there is a small section of that pit entry where if you're stuck from the commitment line all the way to the cone, you are essentially required to get an entering the closed pit, and you cannot turn out of it. So with that in mind, it can happen, very unlikely, but you always got to keep an eye out for that.
We're seeing a lot of these drivers tiptoeing their way around. Princeton out of the race, by the way. He's joined the DNF list. He was towards the bottom in the racing order, as Gitter just letting on go Gossett, no issue, didn't even fight him. Robert Miller just pit.
Smart choice. I mean, I think now is a good time for him. He's got to get fresh tires. If he's going to be able to make up some of the ground, he's got to get fresh tires and push hard. It's a good thing he chose to do it. I think it's going to be a long-term benefit if we don't see a caution very quickly. We'll have to see. And even if a caution came out now, it would be a benefit for him. So we'll see how it goes. Miller's going to have to bet and hope that everybody else stays out and a caution lands his way. That's what he really needs to get back into this race.
And remember, there is still a chance of a random caution. We didn't get it in the second half of the race in Chicago, but we might see something come into play in terms of this strategy. There goes the traffic letting on through. That is going to be Hutchinson and Murray swap it around once again. Ralph Hutchinson just trying to survive as we take a look at the 62. He is over the back bumper of Roman.
Yeah, that has been continuing for multiple laps in a row. I've been keeping an eye on that battle myself. And I think that battle is just probably going to be where the actual battle for this win will probably sit, somewhere in that range. But Heitman and Gossett, what's this story? Let's take a look right here. Gossett all over the back bumper of Heitman, gives him a shot in the rear bumper, saying, hey, I'm ready to pass you. Get out of the way. That's what Gossett's saying to Heitman, but Heitman's not having any of it so far. Trying to hang on to the race car. Gossett's going to be looking low here. Look for the dive bomb. Maybe not this corner, but the next one. He's all over the rear bumper. That 07 is quick, and he is showing that he wants to get on by, and he wants to do it quick. That 07 trying to recover from his incident earlier. Dives it in deep. 76 goes slightly wide, but he's going to hang on to the position as they head through the S's.
Yes, indeed. Looking to try and step on through. Gossett waiting for his opportunity. We know how deep he sends it in terms of the braking marks compared to some of the other cars. Looking like it's going to be right here. Lunge to the inside. Heitman knows it's coming. Lets him have the space. Gossett moves up another spot.
Moves him up to the top 5. At the top 5 spot for Gossett. Showing he can drive aggressively and still get to the top 5. I mean, I'm excited to see if anybody's going to choose to pit right now. I mean, that might be something you want to keep an eye on, but let's take a second to acknowledge something. The leader of Andrew Dyson has 10 seconds on Paul Hill. So you see Dyson here, he's entering that little short seat right before the S's. Now where's Paul Hill? That's the question. Let's take a look back at him. So he's in the S's. Where's Paul at? Let's find Paul. Let's go. Yeah, this is a perfect camera to show it. Dyson's going to go on by. We got about 10 seconds wait before we see anyone on the radar of that driver. Paul Hill's who we're looking for, not Paul Hill. And there he is, Paul, right there. So he's got a lot of ground. He can really just coast at this point. As long as he's, keeping steady lap times, don't push anything crazy. I mean, you're in a great spot to win this race, Dyson. It's Dyson's race to lose right now.
Yeah.
And we saw looks like we actually saw a pass for the 4th place spot. Roman just got passed by Neil Pearson a handful of corners ago. That was a big move there to be able to get on through. It looks like that actually Roman had a moment going through turn 4 earlier last lap. Roman got loose and spun it. It's important. We need to get a camera on that because that's what happened to him to lose the 4th place spot. About a lap ago going through 4.
From held onto it. No damage on the car. Now has a ton of traffic around him. Tommy Gossett next up in the order to be able to attack him pretty soon. And the tough thing about slides, like you just referred to a little bit from Vroom, that's going to hurt the long run in terms of that, it's going to be difficult for him to make sure those tires don't overheat, because those temperatures go up into that past that optimal range when you have a slide at any point.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I were him, I'd start thinking about pit stops right now. I mean, I'm thinking that might be a good idea for him to head down and actually take advantage of that. Now, let's just talk about one of them that I've already chose to come down, the 15 car, Robert Miller. He's currently 53 seconds behind the leader. He's running 13.6s. The leader is running 14.5, so he's gaining a second a lap. Robert Miller is gaining 1 second a lap on the leader. With that in mind, that is, I mean, this strategy, if we stay green, could benefit him greatly over the course of the run. We'll see if everybody chooses to stay out or not, but this is a full second a lap that this guy's gaining back, and that's really good for the 15 car.
Miller, in the long run, likely still going to be a top 10 car here. But he's going to have to make sure on the short run, no mistakes. The thing is, I think he's working his race backwards. That has to be the call. He's the only person in the field trying it. Everybody else seems to be extending the run as far as they can here. He went right with the window open.
It's a smart choice. I mean, the leader's running 1 minute 14.5s every single time. He just ran a 14.2. And we saw the 15, he's running a way faster lap time. So with that in mind, fresh tires does make a little bit of a difference. We'll see how much that equates to towards the end of the run. But right now, Gossett all over the back bumper, that Roman character sitting in fourth. And, I mean, surprising to see Neil Pearson doing such a great job. But Gossett's trying to make a move just like that. He dive bombs these corners better than anybody. He's willing to risk it all, trying to just get into the corner faster than the car in front of him.
So pit stop, by the way, that is accurate. That's Benefield. That's coming 22 laps into a run. So Benefield looks like he's splitting the run in half. Oh, Gossett with a bit of a lunge. Oh, and a bit of argy-bargy. Bouncing off the door of the purple machine. Gossett still trying to make it stick. Still using the elbows.
Yeah, he's being a bully. Oh, he turned him! Oh, he turned him through that corner. There goes the Roman around. That's the second time we've seen a car get turned off the front bumper of that 07 car today. We saw it with the 15 car when he got side by side and someone decided to battle him. And this time he got another car to decide to battle him this time. And because of that, he did everything he could. He didn't give him he gave him plenty of room. It's just that I think Roman kind of squeezed him a little too much. I mean, he was on the curb. The 07 was out of the way as much as he could have been. I mean, let's take a look from this angle right here. This is probably going to show it pretty simply. He's right on the curb. He stayed on the curb. It might be a little net code, so I think it's not necessarily intentional, but you hate to see another car go off the front bumper of the 07 like that.
So that sends Roman down the pylon to about 9th position. Gossett holds on to 4th. We are in the window, as mentioned, to be able to make it on fuel here. Under 30 laps to go here from Sonoma. And at the rate we're going here, these drivers will be done in about 40 minutes time. Pretty quick race, but still have to make it all the way to the very end to be able to do that, though. Right now, Roman just trying to make sure those tires aren't angry.
Yeah, I got to tell you, separate story here. Up at the front, Paul Hill, this time by, his lap time was a 14.654, and the car that's been chasing him ran a little bit of a quicker lap time the lap prior. So Pearson is gaining ground here and there on second place, so I don't think that second place is 100% set in stone. But what we do have is DeCiani again. I am still very proud to see that 4-car drive a clean race, have a clean race car, not diving it in on people. He's just racing clean, and he finishes races. That's something that 4-car does better, I think, than anybody. It's so hard to see him not do well in terms of a crash. You don't see it very often with that 4-car.
Indeed. Yeah, DeCiani, as you said, good race, good speed, good car, good placement. And the pit stop, Dyson is in. The leader is in 25 laps into the stint.
I think everybody should be listening to that call out, and everybody should choose to come in as soon as physically possible. Gossett follows the call, so does Heitman. Who else is coming in? It's DeCiani coming in as well. So there's your top 10 cars. I see about like half of the top 10 choose to stay out, and the other half chose to come down pit road.
Yeah, so pit window is open for a lot of drivers to split things up, and now where will Miller end up in all this in terms of the cycle? Right now, Robert Miller is 39 seconds back of where Paul Hill is. And for Miller, I don't even think he passed by anybody on pit road.
Dyson actually stayed in the top 10 after his green flag stop cycle. That is phenomenal to see that happen. That 41 car somehow stayed in the top 10. Wild. Absolutely wild. He pulls out in front of the 65, Sean O'Brien Jr., who was running, I believe, in 10th when they crossed the stripe. But, I mean, that's amazing. Paul Hill's leading this thing now. He's going to have to hope for a caution. I mean, you can stay out long and hope for a caution, but when that happens, what do we do? What are you going to have to do? You have to pit. And so there goes Hill. Hill comes down in the pit lane. Let's look at Robert Miller. Robert Miller, remember, he was another car to stay out. He pitted a little earlier than everybody else. He is currently, as of the last time that they crossed the stripe, if we were to look at the difference between him and the 41 of Dyson, when they cross the stripe, we'll find out exactly what that is here in approximately 25 seconds. So Dyson is entering turn 11 now. So with that in mind, I mean, it's still a large gap. You're going to have this huge gap here, but will it be a net gain for the 15 considering the time that he, went off track, got spun? I think it's a net gain pitting when he did over where he was, because now he's got Gossett on his tail end here, and he wasn't anywhere near Gossett. Gossett pitted whenever he was in third or fourth before this cycle went, so he would probably round out the third or fourth in the running order.
Not bad, absolutely, in terms of what he was able to do on the fresh tires on the Goodyear Eagles. Pearson, now the race leader, led his first lap of the day last time by. How long does he go? Dyson is only within 20 seconds of the 62 right now. And it looks like he's going to extend this as far as he can, get some lead laps for this 62 machine. There's Gossett trying to find his way around Miller. Takes an aggressive cut.
Remember, they got in a fight earlier. We saw him make contact, and the 15 went across the front bumper of the 07 in this exact part of the racetrack. They're side by side right now.
Doesn't matter.
Whoa.
Caution. And this is big.
Big hit for Pearson, Stone, anybody that chose to stay out. This is not what you wanted to see.
This is going to be, for Pearson, a lot of spots lost as a result of the time of this caution flag. This is probably exactly what Robert Miller wants to see.
What's going to happen is, like, everybody who has already pitted is going to stay out. They don't need to pit again. Pearson and Stone do have to pit. They're going to lose all their track position and drop outside the top 15.
So unfortunate in terms of the timing of things. You never know when the random caution is going to come up. And it just rolled snake eyes for the 62 and the 57. So we take a step aside. More coverage coming up. You're watching Maconi Entertainment for the FLCC.
You want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, everyone, to tonight's coverage here at the FLCC as we get ready for the restart soon. Should be coming up to 1 to green, this time by Dyson, Hill, Gossett, Miller, Gitter. For how the top 5 are sorted out here on the racetrack. Mind you, everyone who just had to pit, 12 on Backkirk. As expected, they lose the track position.
Now, they were running up in the top 10 prior to that whole sequence going down, and because of the timing of the caution, that actually shoves them out. But it also helps a couple of drivers who we haven't seen in the top 10. For example, Adam Benefield. He just got cracked top 10 just like that in the 83 car. Hunter Truel just moved up to the 9th place spot. Now he's in the top 10. DeCiani gained a spot there. You can also see Gitter. He's in the top 5 now. But Robert Miller, man, I am so happy for that 15 car. He was able to come back after getting turned off the front bumper of the 07. And at the beginning of this race, cautions flew the right way and he got back up to the front. But remember, let's take a look at the stints. We got to look at the stints for this 15 car because he has a lot older tires than those cars around him. If you look, Miller has 13 lap old tires here. And with that in mind, he already has more than double the laps that everybody else has out there on the racetrack right now. And with that in mind, he's going to have a little bit of a harder time getting grip. He's going to be having a harder time getting launch. But he still is going to be able to be in a good position in terms of track position. It's all about being up in the front. You don't want to get turned, obviously, but he's in a right spot to be able to take advantage of his situation right now. He's just got to hang on.
It's all about hanging on. It's all about keeping clean. It's all about keeping stable here. So once again, reset your field. Dyson, Hill on the front row, followed by Gossett and Miller, Gitter and Vroman, Heitman and DeCiani, Truel and Benefield are all in your top 10 here. All mixed up on strategy after they pit before the caution flag came out. First of those who pit, remember, are going to be Neil Pearson, followed by Ralph Hutchinson back in 13th to 14th. Madero's Cam Stone, along with Williams, Marty, Murray are also on that strategy. Some of the lap cars are still trying to catch up to the field before we get restarted here. 22 laps to decide it here from Sonoma. How will Dyson play things out here is the question mark.
All right, here we go. That restart zone's coming up here on the left. This is going to be a good shot of it. We're underway. Great jump by Dyson. He's going to get away to a big lead. You know, Gossett's going to be side by side with Paul Hill heading up the hill for the first time since the restart. And it looks like Gossett's going to have Paul Hill cleared. Paul's going to try to get to his back bumper. Not enough room. They're side by side for fourth now with Vroman. And it looks like the 15 car of Miller trying to hang on. Miller's going to take the advantage as Vroman backs off and loses an extra spot, dropping back to 7th.
A little bit of chaos. Benefield able to hold on to it in the backdrop. But Gossett up to second position, right about where he started this race.
Oh, they're wrecking. Big crash! 4 or 5 cars on the exit of turn 4. They all spun out. The 71-100 Truel, he's involved. He's on the point standings. You got Cameron Stone involved, Tanner Marty, and Benefield all involved in this heavy accident heading out of turn number 4. Let's take a look at this. Oh, man, Benefield just lost it over the bumps. Collected a large number of cars. We're going to need a better angle of that to see everything. But, oh, and he also collected the 29 of Marty, the 57 did. Let's see it right here. This is probably going to be able to show it, but there was a lot of cars all crashing there in that same section. A little loose, collected the 71, innocent bystander, collected Sean O'Brien Jr., Cameron Stone has a broken car, tried to save it, collected the 29 of Tanner Marty, and that definitely is going to take the cake for the biggest crash of the night so far. Dyson, Gossett, Hill, Miller. That is your top 4 with Gitter sitting 5th place right now up front.
Pure calamity in the heart of the field. Benefield amongst those who had to peel on down. Kirby's already taken a tow. Sean O'Brien Jr. also has meatball flag and multiple broken axles. All this as well comes the question, can anybody stop that Dyson? Hearing Hunter Trudeau also down on power from the incident. But the 07 looking to see if he's going to be able to knock down the time here. Dyson gained half a tenth that corner.
I think Dyson's going to be better on the parts of the track where like exits the corners, going through technical sections, but on entry, I mean, it's really hard to beat Gossett. He's got a heck of a drive when he heads into these corners. He really gets on the binders quicker than anybody, and he's able to gain a lot of time doing it. Remember, Dyson just set the fastest lap of the race, but don't expect that to be for long. Dyson's trying to run away, but Gossett, he is fast. He's got something underneath him. I think he has something for Dyson today. I mean, if he's able to hang on to the race car, that it's all about being able to control your vehicle right now. And Gossett has a chance to do it if he's able to keep the speed and somehow catch up to the back bumper of the 41. But he's got a long way to go to be able to do it. And he's one of the best in the business when it comes to road courses, that 41 of Dyson.
Right now, just maintaining the 1 second gap, under 20 laps to go here from Sonoma Raceway. Last time by, fastest lap by far of the race, by the way, 1:12.8. Absolutely flying. The track temperature, mind you, is hotter. That should just showcase how hard Dyson is pushing this car to be able to run away and keep himself a buffer. Also in the train, by the way, behind Hill is Miller, Gitter, Froman, and Heitman that have all choo-choo trained into their own respective battle pack here. So right now, Gossett's doing everything he can to close up, and right now he seems to be good in Sector 2.
Looks like that last time by in terms of lap times, Gossett was actually faster than Dyson by 2/10 last lap by. Gossett ran a 13.3 and Dyson ran a 13.5. So with that in mind, I don't think this is over, man. They got a second gap between them, and it might grow. If that's the case, Dyson's going to get away. We already see it now up to a second and a half. So, I mean, Dyson's running a way faster lap than he did last time by. But I think that Dyson's going to really show his talent that he has here on the road courses. He's so fast. He's so hard to catch, even for the pros. I mean, it's so hard to be able to hang with the 41 at any rate. We'll have to see if he's able to, close out the deal. I think he will. I mean, the odds were in his favor. Everything's on his favor. He's won all the road courses this year, trying to add an extra one to his tally, which would make him, in the entire series, the most. How do I put this? It would make him have the most wins out of anybody. 4 wins. It beats Delaney in terms of Delaney's 3 wins. And remember, he hasn't only won on the road courses. He won also at Nashville. He won whenever he had a strategy workout for him. So Dyson can win on ovals. He can win on road. And I think he has a chance at the championship if he continues this smooth driving and cautious driving. We saw it at Pocono. He ran pretty much top 2 all day, staying calm and smooth. Didn't need to pass nobody. Just stay comfortable, and that's how you're able to get good finishes.
Great point. Smooth and comfortable, gets the job done. As long as you're quick, too. Dyson's got all of the above checkboxed. I'm not sure what you could say in terms of the headline other than I think that's a national pun. Since I'm not even going to get into the mumbling. Let's just talk about the race cars. Because 17 laps to go. And
Oh,
right
right.
now, things are working good for Gitter over Vroom Vroom.
Yeah, Patrick Gitter having a day he needs to have. He needs to be somewhere up into the top 10 here. I feel bad that I don't get the joke. I feel left out. Yeah, okay, producer, whatever is going on. Need to know that one. Okay. Wait, can he win upside? Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it. I got you. Yeah. All right, but let me tell you right now, I am surprised to see that Patrick Gitter is running where he's at, showing he has the road course speed. We saw him win in Daytona, but he hasn't won since. That 21 car is fast. It's just that we don't see him, contend for wins since the super speedway. So I'm excited to see him running so well in the top 5. But Robert Miller as well. Take a look at this. He is running with way older tires, but he's still maintaining his 4th place spot that he had earlier from the restart. Got to give that 15 car credit of a great recovery day. Hopefully he'll be able to hang on to where he's at, try and get a good finish today. With only 17 coming to 16 laps to go.
Still, plenty of time to work with. Yeah, we're out of the woods for caution flags. No more caution flags the rest of the way. The max was 4 that we could get based on the probability. So it's going to be down to the driver skill. For Miller, he seems to have gotten all those issues on short run out of his system. Doing a really good job maintaining here. In fact, he's quicker than Hill. Might have a chance for a podium.
We'll see if he's able to do it, because if he does, that would be phenomenal. I mean, I think that would be a heck of a comeback of the century here. 15's got to be able to do it, and he's just got to maintain his pace. But let's take a look real quick at somebody who just cracked top 10 I'm surprised by. Ralph Hutchinson. He was almost getting lapped at the end of the 2nd stage. We saw him. He was barely hanging onto the race car right in front of the leader. But now he's sitting top 10. What a great recovery for that 8 car to try and grab a top 10 at the end of this thing.
Yeah, he's had a horrific night. Hudson amongst some of the last standing in terms of the survival of the race car. It also helps that there was a thing of the hurt incident. Medeiros is amongst those losing some ground in the background, but these are the types of races that you kind of need to be able to build some momentum in a campaign. Pearson trying to find a way around DeCiani, meanwhile, still trying to close out for the battle for 8.
I think Pearson's going to be a driver to watch as we go throughout the rest of the season. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be able to have winning speed. He's going to need to have a really good day for that to happen. But him and DeCiani both are battling right here, heading into the corner. Really deep dive bomb, and just like that, Pearson gets over-moved by DeCiani. DeCiani gets right on by. Clean move to get on by him. Hang on to the position, but the 62 is really trying everything he can to get by the 4 car.
Yeah, Pearson's got the speed to get in front of him. Problem is, it's too equal on speed. Last time by, they're near dead even on the stopwatch. Looks like he's got the run this time, though. DeCiani, let him have it. Let's him have the inside groove. We'll try and fight him a bit for it, but not too aggressively. Pearson up to 8.
Not bad. Able to get the job done. Now that 4 car's just got to find a rhythm and get into it and see if he can't save his stuff up for a last last handful of laps pass. That 98 car we're looking at now, they're battling with Marty. Remember, Marty got a lot of damage there from that incident, but he's still hanging on to a top 15 after getting hit hard in the side of the car by Cameron Stone, who's also sitting in the top 15. So, I mean, surprising to see these cars are still able to compete at a high level, but I mean, these are really the closest battles we have. I mean, if we look through the entire field, the next closest is, I guess, Miller to Hill, but that's not a very big gap at all. It's just 1 second. So, I mean, it's going to be like this for the remainder of the race. Who could save their stuff over the long run? We only got 14 to go and no caution, so it's what you got, what you got. Best of luck. That's kind of what you got right now.
Murray spent a lot of time getting repairs done on the car. Going to be a bit of a disappointing end to the run here for Alex Murray. After having speed earlier on to be able to contend for top 5 positions. And now it's just a matter of just finishing where he ends up. Last time by, he was quicker than both Hutchinson and Medeiros. So over time, he might get there, but he's going to need to keep on knocking down that time. Speaking of Medeiros, there's a look at the 20. He's one of the non-alcoholic sponsors tonight with the Sprite look.
Always a big fan of that. I'm not a big alcohol drinker myself. Medeiros here showing that he likes some Sprite. Doing all right. He survived. The goal is to survive these road course races for drivers like Devin. And he's very close to getting a top 10 finish. He just needs to get one more spot to make it happen. He's got a long way to do it, though. So I don't believe that will actually be there. So we'll have to take a look and see how that works on the long run here. But still, great night. Exactly what that 20 car needs. He's having a rough run in terms of the point standings. We've seen that all week, all year actually, for that 20 car. In terms of the odds heading into this race, Devin, he was about ranked 17th out of all 30. So he's outperforming what his odds stated he was going to do. So great job to that 20 team.
Able to keep it clean all night long. Vroman, meanwhile, so far this run, just trying to tiptoe around. No major flashes of the pan. Just trying to get top 10 speed. Nothing else you can really say. He just is maintaining the run, just maintaining his distance to be able to try and find a way to chip it away to get to Gitter. Seems like tonight Roman has at least the pace to maybe get a top 5, but only so many cars, of course, can get a top 5. It's not called the top, whatever you want to say.
Considering the fact that we saw this car nearly lose it, I mean, you got to be happy for him. He's sitting just outside the top 5, but he's catching up to the back bumper of that 5th place car, Patrick Gitter. Don't think this is going to be over, and Gitter's close to Miller, which is just a few seconds, less than a second behind Paul Hill. So the entirety of the top 3 are really close together, but Tommy Gossett has really scooted away from all the other cars, and he's about 2 seconds behind the leader, but Andrew Dyson is having that much more speed than Gossett, and I don't think that Gossett's going to be able to catch him. He's running 3/10 slower than the leader. So with that in mind, I don't think anyone in this front group actually is going to be able to catch Dyson. Dyson's just got to coast to the end here. He's got everything going his way.
Oh, right now just dealing with traffic. There goes 71. Trudeau goes in, parks it on the outside of the corner to let by the cars. That is traffic management, I guess. But
Respectful.
Still 10 laps to go, this time by at the stripe. And right now, now a good run for Hill, another great run for Dyson. Goss has kept him within 2 seconds. So it's a little bit closer than what we've seen in previous stages at this point of the run. But Dyson's still being put through his paces. 10 to go.
That time by, Gossett was faster by 1/10, just 1/10 of a second. But he has 2 seconds he's got to gain back. So with that in mind, he would need 20 laps, and that he does not have 20 laps. He needs to pick up the pace to at least 2/10 a lap to be able to catch to the back bumper of the leader. And the lap prior, he actually lost 3/10. So with that in mind, it's going to be quite a large ask to see if Gossett can actually catch back up. But it could happen. Not saying it won't. Just saying that 41's showing a lot of speed, and he's kind of keeping him honest.
Just trying to finish this out. What would be a season high 4 victories on the campaign for Dyson and put him into the final 4 for the battle of the in-season tournament. Dover Motor Speedway next time out is going to be an interesting night for the Monster Mile to see how these drivers fare out on the concrete. That's going to put drivers through their paces big time over the course of about 3.5 hours next week.
You know, whenever they go to Dover, it's going to be an interesting battle, to say the least. It's completely different from the drivers that are competing well here. I think you're going to see a different top 10. That is for sure. And honestly, most of these drivers and some of us up here in the booth can most certainly say that we are kind of getting tired of the road courses. Let's head back to something we all know and love, which is a good left turn racetrack next week. 71 has decided to park it for the evening. It looks like he has a little bit of front end damage. Maybe he got involved in an accident. Let's take a look and see what happened here for the 71 car of Hunter Toole.
So right hand damage. He's already let drivers go lap traffic. And well,
oh well, I guess he just was done. I think he was done.
May as well go to Gilligan's Island, I guess.
For sure. That's funny. That's a good reference. I'm glad he said that. Yeah. They used to have the pit road over on that side, a part of the pit road on that side of the racetrack. So it's interesting to see how they actually, the history of this track. There's a whole giant history of this place. It's really interesting to look at. So whenever you have a free time, always worth a Google search or YouTube search about the history of this track. It's kind of wild the things they did here and how unfair it was to be on that side. So Dyson, though, I mean, he's got to deal with these lappers. I mean, this ain't it. I think Gossett's gained a little bit of ground here, but he's got to get through all these lap cars. And Dustin Hall's not going to be the easiest guy to pass. Oh, he gave him a shot. He spun him out. Holy cow, he just spun him out. The one car got spun, and now Hall's sitting sideways on the racetrack. He's going to get back going, but you saw 41 was not having any of it, but it made him lose 0.7 of a second. This is not over. Gossett's gaining ground. And he's got damage. 41 got front end damage, heavy front end damage.
This is now big. How is that going to impact the run for Dyson? That front splitter is caved on in. It's down to 1 second the gap. Coming up to 7 laps to go. Gossett now having another chance here. Will he be able to take advantage? Can Dyson find his speed yet again is the question. He's led 70 plus laps tonight.
Dominant car of the day here. Getting caught up to by Gossett. Gossett's going to be a real underdog here. That 41's got to drive some of the best laps of his life to be able to hang on, and he's got a sick car. But remember, it's not just him. That 07 also has some damage from whenever he made contact with the wall out of the front straightaway we saw earlier in the race. So, I mean, damage is there, but that 41 car's just got to hope he doesn't run into any more lap traffic. That really took a lot out of his car, and we could see it. He ran a 15 flat last time by, and second place ran a full second faster, so he cannot have a lap like that again. He just absolutely cannot. He will lose the lead if he does.
This is going to be very important now for Dyson to be able to keep his cool. 9/10 the margin. Gossett trying to push hard into these corners right now. Coming to 6 laps to work with here.
Gossett was inches from that barrel there. He's getting every inch of that track he can. He was so close to hitting it. But when he comes across the stripe here, it looks like 2/10 he gained that time by. It was 14 seconds flat for Gossett and 14.1, so technically a 10th faster, but sitting right around that point where it's closer to 2 than 1. So it ain't over. He's got 6 laps to do it. He's got to gain a little over like a half a tenth and a half to be able to actually catch him. And it ain't over. I mean, you could gain that much in a dive bomb. So we'll see if Dyson can hang on. No mistakes out of that 41. None whatsoever. Cannot have a single mistake.
Every time through to that sector, through the top of the racetrack for the short chute. About a 10th of a second picked up by Gossett. Just cannot seem to be able to fully take advantage here of this speed damage that Dyson's now picked up. 0.8 back. 5 laps to work with. And Gossett might have to get physical if he wants any true shot here. He needs to find a couple tenths at least in some of these sectors to have enough time to be able to make a move. It's down to 0.6.
Oh man, you gotta hate it for what happened. The 41 had this race won, but the lap car parked it right on his nose and gave him some damage, and now he's actually lost his superpower. He's at the point now where he's losing a couple tenths a lap, and he's got to just hang on to the race car, man. I'm rooting for you, but that 07, he's aggressive. He's going to do whatever it takes to get by you, so try to maintain that gap, buddy. Hang on to that race car. We'll see if he's able to do it. 5 to go, heading through some of the most difficult corners we have. These are passing zones, really deep dive bombs from Gossett. That's probably where he gains the most. But Gossett's got a lot of ground to make up. It's not over yet, but it most certainly still leaning towards Dyson.
Huge clattering in the curb that time for Gossett. Dyson gained a lot of ground that time through the S's. Gossett using all the runoff space he can to find little advantages here, using all the incident points to be able to try and find something. 4 laps to go. He's within 3 car lengths, just a little bit loose though for Gossett. That's going to cost him the 10th he picked up.
I don't know, man. This time by when he crosses the stripe, 13.91 for Dyson and a 14 flat for Gossett. Not a lap that Gossett wishes he can get back. That is for sure. He's got to gain something. He's at 7 tenths last time he hit the stripe. He's gaining ground here and there in small places. But that 41, he's just able to hang on to it right now. Gossett showing some speed here, though. This ain't over yet by any means. To the right-hander. Gossett decides not to go over the bumps, and I think it's going to actually help him slightly in this case. We're looking at it now, still 5 tenths. He's got 4 laps to do it and 6 tenths to be able to catch him back up. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but that 41 is doing everything he can to make sure he can hang on to this lead, and it's a difficult task to do here at Sonoma. You know, it's so crazy to see Gossett go so far off the racetrack in that section there to hang on to it. Oh, he's loose. He saves the race car, but this ain't over yet. Gossett almost spun the thing heading into turn 11.
Still not able to chip away. He's trying. He's pushing hard, but Dyson still has the raw ability to be able to maintain for this race lead. Under 3 laps to work with here in Sonoma. Gossett lost another 10th yet again.
It's very slim, very little. Not crazy amount, but enough to where it's going to make him think about it. He's got to gain it all back. He knows that he's got to do something to catch up to the back bumper of Dyson. Gossett's got some speed to do it, but he's got to hope for something to happen to that 41 car. 41's level-headed, smooth, driving carefully, doing all he can to hang on to this lead. And Gossett is just doing everything he can. He's jumping the curbs. He's going off track, trying to get every inch he can to try and catch up to this road course king of the full-length cup challenge that we have for Dyson. He's a road course king of this series. He just leads all the dang time. He's won every single road race there is, but this is the first time we're seeing a real challenge from second place. This ain't over yet.
2 laps to go here from Sonoma. Gossett's using up all the rears. I think he's burned up all the stuff out of those tires, Kirk. He just can't seem to chip away. He's able to equalize, but he's not able to fully close it up.
I agree with you. He lost a 10th that time by. It's less than a second still separate. So any mistake out of that 41 and Gossett's there. You got to remember that. So clean corners, no going off track, just hang on to the race car. Do not let that 07 catch you. And I think that that's going to be the key here, and it looks like it's working out for him right now. Is they are still so close. They're running almost identical lap times, give or take about half a tenth. I mean, it's showing that these two both have the speed to win this race. It's just track position now. We'll see if any mistake is made, then Gossett will be there.
Gossett yet again using the left sides into the dirt. That's been a 10th of a second advantage for him to be able to do that alongside the curbing. Tries to send it deeper in the braking zone yet again. But we're coming up to the white flag this time by. Not close enough for the pass. One more time around from wine country.
In 2 tenths that time. This ain't over quite yet. I mean, he's got to do everything he can. No mistakes. Gossett's got to send it in every corner. He's got to try everything he can. Anything he's got left in the tank, he's got to throw at it this lap. This is his only chance to make it happen. But Dyson's just got to hold him off. He's got a handful of corners to do it. He's leading right now. Oh, off track goes Gossett. Gossett still maintains his gap. Not much, but he went off track that time, big time. And so does the 41, almost clips the wall there. He hangs on to it, and they are still nose to tail, and the gap has closed slightly, very slight. Not much, but that still shows that that gap is still at a point where if they do go into a corner, he cannot make a mistake.
Come to the guesses one final time. All Dyson needs to do is keep it on the racetrack. No mistakes, no issues. One more chance for Gossett to do anything to get to that bumper. No major lunges, no major dives. Andrew Dyson comes out of the final corner. For the 4th time this season, Andrew Dyson wins in the FLCC.
Man, what a road course racer, man. That car's real fast. But take a look back here, Vroman and Miller. Miller's trying to hang on to that top 5 spot, and it looks like Miller is going to hang on, and Miller's going to end up coming back to get a top 5 out of that. Great run of Vroman's, finishing 6th. Good run for him as well. Looks like Pearson, Heitman, DeCiani, and Hutchinson are going to round out your top 10 finishers here this afternoon. Wow, what a race! Good job for the top 2 drivers to make it entertaining there towards the end. That was awesome. And well, we got some beef there. What was that? The 7 car trying to get by Hutchinson.
That's for position. That's for 10th. Murray tried it. Couldn't get it.
The 41 of Dyson's doing burnouts right now. Big time over here in the corner. All the cars are trying to avoid them.
This is what they call a power move, I think. Andrew Dyson throwing the SPG as Derek Heitman congratulates him.
What a run. I mean, that car is just faster than everybody. I mean, you got to give Dyson some credit. It doesn't matter what setup he's got underneath him. He could drive any road course car, the wheels off the thing. He's on another planet compared to everybody else here. And, I mean, people in higher up areas got to look at this guy because he is someone that is willing to do anything it takes to win. Even with a damaged car, he was able to move a lap car out of the way, and he's still able to hold off one of the hard-charging drivers, Tommy Gossett, and he still got the win. That was a great run for Andrew Dyson today.
Andrew Dyson will get the chance to burn it on down in full here. Just waiting for this moment to go. It looks like he will burn it out now.
Oh, man, I'm just happy for him. Great job. 4th win on the season. Oh, well, there goes front end. Even more. Thing's broken now. Might as well do the same thing to the rear end. Nope. It looks like he's going to try and keep doing some burnouts. So that's good for him. He got the win today. And Dyson is now going to end up being, in terms of, wins, he's our championship win leader right now. He has 4 wins on the season, more than anybody else.
Great drive, great race for him. So it's Andrew Dyson who gets to go to victory lane as he burns it down everywhere he wants to. We'll take a step aside. We come back, post-race results and interviews. You're watching tonight's coverage of the FLCC, where it's Andrew Dyson who wins at Sonoma.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi's Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, everyone, to Maconi Entertainment for tonight's coverage of the full-length Cup Challenge here from Sonoma Raceway. An interesting night sees Andrew Dyson come away with a victory tonight over Tommy Gosson and Paul Hill. Those drivers standing on by to speak with us. Then it's Gitter, followed by Miller, the top 5. Nicholas Roman finishes at 6. Pearson, Heitman, DeCiani, and Hutchinson, the top 10.
Finishing 11th tonight will be Alex Murray, followed by Devin Medeiros, top 15. Got Cameron Stone, great recovery. Tanner Marty, Stephen Williams, great finish for them today, 15th. 16th, Dustin Hall, William Owens, Matthew Long, Hunter Toole, and then Adam Benefield rounds out your top 20 finishers tonight.
21st goes the way of Joey Prevey. Then it's Sean O'Brien Jr. with Chad Sander and Clayton Hoffman, 24th. Princeton finishes 25th with Bobby Anderson, 26th. Delaney, 27th. Cook, Simpson, and Taylor. The rest of the running order, Taylor only made it about 10 laps tonight before he parked it. That's what we talked about the running order here tonight from Maconi Entertainment. In the end, Andrew Dyson picks up the victory. Andrew, you do it again. We spoke with you earlier, and you're able to hold on. What's going through your mind as you now lead the series in wins?
That's pretty cool, man. Pretty happy to lead the series. Pretty happy to get the race done as well, to be honest. Like that was a bit of a tough one, and Tommy really, like you said, he sort of threw everything at that one. I could tell, man. He was coming at me for a bit there, or just sort of hanging back at like 2 seconds, and I was sort of keeping an eye on it, trying to look after my stuff as much as I could. And then, he really started coming back at me. But after I had that little thing with Dustin, which I'm really sorry for, but to Dustin. So. But ended up being a really good race. Pretty relieved to get it. Pretty happy to lead the series. Pretty cool.
How was the car handling after that incident with the lap car?
I didn't notice anything different. I think it was pretty much the same. I mean, it was more just I don't know. I might have looked like Tommy was able to get a bit closer in a few spots. Maybe because a bit of draft helped. Maybe I was making a few more mistakes because he was closer. But there was nothing really wrong with the car. It's probably just a me thing that might have looked like I was struggling or something. But yeah, there was a few spots I did have a little bit of a struggle. Tommy said he had a few spots as well, but it sort of ebb and flowed a bit, so it evened out. And when the cars are really even like that, really hard to pass. So it was a fun race though.
So with that being said here, your thoughts for Dover next time out?
Yeah, I have to look and see who I've got, but I have a feeling it might be Derek that I'm going up against for the next sort of round of the in-season tournament. So, without that aside, like I do like Dover. Dover's pretty fun. I've seemed to go okay there. I haven't ever really set the world on fire, but I think a top 10 should be on the cards, a top 5 if I have a really good day, and if I can finish in front of Derek or not, we'll see what happens.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to here tonight?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Big shout out to all the guys for coming out for a race tonight. Tommy and Paul, congrats. Thanks to you guys for doing a little broadcast and talking about virtual race cars. And Bobby and Bryson and all the guys who put in some effort to help make this series happen. Really appreciate it.
Congratulations on the run once again.
Thanks, guys.
Andrew Dyson gets the win here tonight. Tommy Gossett finishes off.
Damn you, Tommy Two-Tone!
I'm just going to move on from that point from the welcome bot, but Tommy Gossett is with Kirk.
Tommy, holy cow, you were on rails tonight, had a crazy run, still end up getting second here tonight. I mean, tell me, how did your day go for you? How'd you feel behind the wheel? And how'd you end up catching all the way back up to second place, Tommy?
Well, I definitely feel like I get the award for passing the most cars. I think I went from the back to the front twice. It was just a crazy race. I love Sonoma. I've been working hard at my road course craft with how many road courses are on the NASCAR schedule now. And it felt good to run up with someone as fast as Dyson. Obviously, I still got a little bit of work to go, but we're getting there. The car felt good. Obviously, Ken over at Ryko Performance built a hell of a setup every week, and it really shows when my slow self can drag a car up this close on a road course.
And Tommy, I got to ask you, man, you had a chance here towards the end of that race to be able to try and catch him. Was there anything else you could have done to try and catch the back bumper of that 41 car?
Settled down a little bit. I just got too throttle happy there a couple times off of 7A and 11 and spun up the rear tires, and it was pretty much over from there. I was able to tell from, because me and Andrew both were in NIS last night, I kind of knew where he was better and where I was better, so I was trying to maximize those places, and I ended up hurting myself instead of maximizing, because I could pull 2/10 on him in some through part of the lap. Then there at I don't know what turn it is, but it's the one before you come down the short shoot to 7A. He just gained 3/10 on me there. I had nothing for him coming through that short shoot, so I was just pushing everywhere, trying to make up as much time as I can, and it ended up hurting me a little bit.
Well, Tommy, let me ask you for our final question here. I want to ask you first, how'd you feel the race went? Was it fun for you? And also, do you have anybody you want to shout out for this evening?
Oh yeah, the race was a blast. Obviously, I got to thank God for putting me in the position to be able to do this. Without him, nothing happens. I got to thank Bobby for putting on a great league. I got to thank y'all for the wonderful broadcast. I got to thank Ken over at Ryko Performance and everybody at Gossett Bus Lines and Gossett Enterprises. Obviously, that's my family. So I got to thank my mom and all the sponsors and partners we have that help make this possible. I know tonight was your favorite drink night, but Red Bull just is not a sponsor. Got to thank BDE Energy because we have an orchard and we actually are a Red Bull partner and sell Red Bull. So got to thank BDE Energy here in Nashville for allowing me to run this car in a semi-official capacity.
That's awesome, Tommy. Well, congratulations on the podium, seeing you second place. It's definitely going to improve your point standings a little bit. And we hope to see you come out next week over at Dover. See if you can try to bull your way all the way up to the front with that Red Bull paint scheme. All right, good job tonight.
Yes, sir. God bless America.
Right. I got you. Back to you there, Justin.
So Tommy Gossett comes away second spot tonight. Paul Hill able to squeak out a top three. Paul, how would you describe your night in the 26 machine?
Hectic, if I had to pick one word. Hectic would be the word.
How come?
Well, I got some damage there with Alex. He caught the wall there, and I didn't have anywhere to go. And then the last 30 with that random caution kind of ate the little bit of a buffer I needed with my slower pace there. I just was fighting for my life. Car was not handling ideal.
So overall, how do you look to approach things now with the in-season tournament with Dover next week?
Just how I approach every race, if I want to be honest. I've kind of peeked at it, but I haven't paid too close attention to it. Just try to get the best possible finish I can every week, and can contend for wins. If you finish first, then no one can beat you. So that's the hope every week.
Any shout you'd like to give here tonight?
Yeah, I like to give a shout out to CFM Performance, Majula Speed Shop, for the awesome setup. We put a lot of work in this week trying to make this car competitive. I felt like we did a great job. Wish you didn't have damage there in the last 30. I could have been up there with Andrew and Tommy. They put on quite a show. Wish I could have kind of thrown my hat in the mix there, but I'll be happy with a third considering the circumstance.
Congratulations on the podium here tonight, Paul.
I appreciate it, guys.
Paul Hill rounds out the top three here tonight in an eventful one here at Sonoma Raceway. I'd like to thank the entire top three for speaking with us during post-race coverage here on Maconi Entertainment. Next time out does go to Dover. Dover Motor Speedway, July the 19th. Gonna be the date. 8:25 p.m. is the start time for our coverage here at Maconi Entertainment. Be sure to tune in. Your final thoughts, Kirk, before we head to Dover.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we're getting out of these road courses and getting back to what makes NASCAR great and this country great, left turns. So we got Dover coming up, Monster Mile, Dover Downs, Dover, Delaware. Yeah, you don't always like going to the north, but I can tell you right now that Dover is one of those exceptions. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they're able to handle the racetrack. Tires are going to be a big deal, and it's definitely a self-cleaning track, so it's going to be really entertaining on July 19th at 8:25 p.m.
Be sure to tune in here on Maconi Entertainment. On that note, it's time to say goodbye. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in for tonight's coverage of the FLCC. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince. Alongside the booth was Kirk Mills. DJ Lyon was producing. Thanks to all our viewers for watching tonight's racing action. Always stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to the entire staff for bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.
Be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.